to Cyberpunk Red Apogee, with our lovely host of wonderful characters here. We're gonna give a quick shout out to the Forge. We appreciate them using their service. It's great. If you need to host Foundry, check out the Forge. Without further ado, let's get into these lovely characters. Now, you will know the name tags are missing because they all messed up on me. So I'll be working on that this week to get that done. Unexpectedly, they all messed up. So, hey, I can't get it all done in a few hours. But we'll still give a shout out to everyone and let everyone go ahead and say what's going on with them. So without further ado, let's see. We will go with a... Ezreal, what's happening in your world?
Oh, not too much. Just watching great people play Baldur's Gate 3 a lot. Lots of Baldur's Gate 3 going on. Some people that are here, some people that aren't. but it's just been really enjoyable. So I don't want to spoil too much of it for me. So I end up lurking, and like I'll go back and look at certain different things. But for the most part, just lots of Baldur's Gate 3, Sengoku Dynasty, just lots of great games.
And apparently shoutouts are decided to not work tonight. It didn't save when I made it. Alright, well, I try to deal with this. Next up. Everything's just going grand tonight. That's great. Hopefully the rest of the night goes as well, right?
Minor technical.
Right. Matt in the Hat. What's happening with you, man?
Hello, I am a little sick today, so I'm going to be slightly more quiet than I generally am to preserve my dulcet tones for the future. I don't know. I've been doing a lot of campaign prep for my in-game games. We are coming up to the end of Chapter 2 at the moment, and that's been very exciting. There's been lots of difference in all of the groups, and got some real stuff. One of the player characters died and went to the Silver Flame to get resurrected, and discovered just how crazy resurrection is in Eberron, because most of my players don't really play in Eberron, don't really know the lore there. So he was dead for 6 days and was preserved by a spell, and he basically gained, well, he lost 6 years of his life. He basically is 6 years older because he was dead for 6 days. So kind of insane. So he was lost for 6 years, and I made him roll a bunch of memories, and he lost his memory of his mother, and he lost the memory of one of the player characters as well. But most of his memory remained intact. The rest of his family, his experiences in the war, a lot of that he has retained. But yes, this session we will find out. Well, maybe we will start to have these, because he'll come back this session for the party, and so they'll see him for the first time after his resurrection, and so we'll start to experience what that's like. So it's going to be pretty fun.
Always learn what things work like in a system, right? Because you might find out you're wrong.
Well, it's more of a setting than a system here in this case, but yes, right. Indeed. Yep. Other than that, I am playing Baldur's Gate. I am playing a few other games. I've only done one stream, Baldur's Gate, but most of it's been in person. But I'm going to be joining
that you and a few others on this call may be busy Thursday.
Right. Yeah. So for Thursday your time and
Friday yours, yeah.
And we will be getting into some Baldur's Gate shenanigans on a certain GM's channel here. So tune in for that.
It'll be fun. Well, thank you, Matt. Mixed nuts.
Hello.
You were killing zombies earlier.
Oh yeah, killing lots of zombies as far as that goes. I'm closing in real close on longest survivor for being at that mall right now. I'm gonna say I gotta survive another 12 or 13 days in game to tie my record at that. But I try not to talk about that, because every time I start talking about that, I end up, fat fingering the keyboard and getting eaten by a zombie. So
Jinx.
Thanks.
Right. That is Project Zomboid.
Oh yeah, the simplest, smallest little mistake and you will die. I had two or three different times earlier today where I'm just gonna walk through this doorway, and there were zombies on both sides of the doorway as soon as I walked through, and just had to immediately begin sprinting forward, otherwise I would have gotten much.
That would do it, man.
Oh, and 1,400 hours of play into that game, the jump scare still makes me come out of my skin.
Yes. Yeah.
So that, lots of Baldur's Gate. Been playing a playthrough with Table Knights here. Actually, I think we got 2 of them going right now, Table Knights.
We got about a few.
So yeah, but I've been enjoying the hell out of Baldur's Gate. That game, you can do basically whatever you want, regardless of whether or not it's sensible or not. And that makes it so like actual D&D that it's just fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, awesome. I've been catching your guys' streams of that as well, so crazy. And finally, not least, our friend Table Knights. What's going on, man? What kind of fun stuff you've been doing?
It is time.
It is time.
I have been writing some stuff for By Night, planning my trip to Texas for a couple of LARP events that I'm going to be helping run. I've been really, really busy, but also have had nothing to do at the same time. It has simultaneously been extremely fulfilling and really dumb. And I feel like everyone here knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, basically I'm just hurrying up and waiting for a lot of stuff right now, writing things, trying to get a little bit more money for my creative works. It has been slightly successful too, so that's nice.
Yay.
I also do been doing the Baldur's Gates. I have like 7 playthroughs I'm doing, and like 3 of them are just me poking the game in every way that I possibly can.
Sounds about right.
Because I have to. My brain is systematically tearing the game apart, which I love, but I also wish I could just play the damn game.
Oh, I get that.
But yeah, that's been a lot of fun, and I'm also excited to play this game, and also I'm excited to play my Monday game where there's this fantastic DM. I don't know if you know him. His name's Mixed Nuts. He's quite a handsome fellow. I hung out with him at a convention recently. He's a little stinky, but he's got a hot wife, so.
What are you talking about, man? I avoided the bean soup. I was nice about it.
But yeah, it's just it's stuff, things, and stuff.
Excellent. Well, gentlemen, let's get this show on the road. Have a good time. So, last we left off was in chapter 1. It was a while ago. And we had a party of lovely individuals. As you guys are prepping your vehicle, Blackstone and Zid, you two are working on getting the van up and running, while Doc and Seamus step off to go check something. Bit of a commotion going on. At this point, a certain Harlan, you notice this individual who looks similar to a certain picture you've seen. And you see almost the spitting image of kind of a combination of those pictures. Here, fiddling with a van, trying to get ready to get out of here, and seems to be more competent and making more progress than the other groups you see around as you come stumbling out of the complex.
Yeah, bleeding from an ear still, probably.
Oh yeah, no, you still have blood streaking down your face. It's all dry. It's not still bleeding, but it's not been cleaned.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to wander straight up to the group and go, As soon as he turns to face me, I'm going to look at him and go, Blackstone, right?
How do you react to this? This strange fellow. He has gray hair. He has like blood streaks on his face, like he's recently been beaten to Kingdom Come. Obviously has signs that he's been royally beaten and the blood is just dried and on there.
You do look like both of your parents. You realize that, right?
I would hope so. Who wants to know?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Harlan.
I'm Lucas, but you can call me Blackstone. You obviously know my parents.
Oh,
How?
don't know them. Scene footage, files,
Okay.
various information, and stories that I've written.
Are any of your sources still living?
I hope so. Been in one of them capsules for who the hell knows how long right now. They didn't.
Yeah.
Did they wake you up?
No.
Because I was stuck. The last thing I know, I was interrogated a bunch of questions about my own parents and their own connections to this. I got the royal shit beat out of me and then thrown into one of these capsules.
Well, first off, you're welcome, because we broke you out.
Oh, good. I don't spend the rest of my life as a corpse-sicle.
Yes. Second, I totally understand where you're coming from, because myself and my comrades, we also endured a funny beating that was unpleasant. But I'm glad to see that you were part of the group that got out.
That's not been my first meeting. It probably won't be my last. As much as I've been trying to pester Life Tech and figure out where all these people disappeared to, I'm assuming we just came out of one of the places they've been disappeared to.
Yes, this seems to be one of their remote sites.
Diamond, in my investigation, do I have a rough idea of how many people I think that Life Tech may have abducted in the process of this?
All you know is it is a lot more than anyone realizes. You couldn't get an exact head count.
40, 50,000 kind of thing? Or we're talking about
Possibly, you don't know. You just know it's in the thousands anyways.
Yeah. I'll share that.
Mean,
I said, yeah,
when you're going through and see like handfuls of records, you don't get a full list of, counts. So you're trying to add them together and it's just more than you thought. It's at least thousands. You don't know how many thousands, but you know it's thousands.
This must have been a smaller site then, because remember when we were looking through the database, it was only it was 1,500 to 2,000 people at this particular site. So this must have been one of their smaller sites. I know it's farther away from. It's like a couple of days drive from here to Night City, where their headquarters is. So that's the reason why we're trying to work on getting this van up and running, so we can get there. And
let's be clear: your timing that Zid found was a few days via AV.
Okay. So it's probably more of a week, or if not longer, in this scrap heap behind us that we're trying to get working.
Sorry, vehicles, I ride in them. I have no idea how to work them, so I'm not going to be helpful there.
I've got some technical proficiency, so I can handle a wheel. It's just probably not like, I'm not like a getaway driver. I'm not like that kind of person. I'm the person that mainly does the the weapons tech and fixing things and making things work better, quote unquote. So
I'm going to start digging through my bag, and about halfway through part of that, I'm going to look back over my shoulder and says, "Oh, by the way, you do know that both your parents have been forcibly reassigned to Night City, right?"
I did not know that. It actually helps me quite a lot. And the fact that you're telling me that
That's where I found their pictures in the reassignment shit.
So when you say, I'm gonna get really specific. So, you say that they have been forcibly reassigned to Night City. That means that they are currently living.
As of the time that I've got this reassessment or the reassignment paperwork, which would have been before I went into the capsule. It's also where I got the picture of them. That's why when I saw you, I kind of looked around and went, oh, there's somebody that looks like familiar, at least a little.
So he tells me this, and I take the necklace out of my pocket, and I hold it in my hand, and I have this moment of recollection, and I say to myself, I'm coming, Mom and Dad, and I put the necklace away.
Did I hear that anyway?
You probably did. Depends on how far away you were.
It probably doesn't matter how far away I was if I was focused on you. So.
Yeah, you probably did. So obviously, like I've been looking for them. They were like abducted whenever I was in high school. So I've been trying to find them ever since.
So you're actually looking for your parents to try to help them.
Yes.
Whereas my parents send goon squads after me.
Yikes.
I appreciate the fact that you've got a good family life, and I'm going to rummage around and try to find some alcohol in my bag somewhere. Try to clean my face up a little bit with something.
So while that's going on,
the wheel of the van.
yeah, so you guys are working on the van again, having this dialogue. While this happens, the camera pans out into the wastes as a van is tearing through the desert, heading for this destination. Behind the wheel, young nomad. Hadoj. Hadjo, you got record that the media who is working with your girl was brought to an off-site location out here, and that's your only contact you have about where she is. That's it.
I have the location.
That's where you're headed. You're trying to get there. And you got news on your Nomad network that there's a few stray AVs inbound. So you want to snatch you and get out of there before anything happens.
What is on inbound?
Strike assault AVs.
Strike
AVs are basically flying cars that the corpos use to deliver things.
Okay. The location, does it have a name?
You were barely able to get coordinates. And just getting the coordinates cost you quite a lot.
So I'm down to my my last eddies.
Yes.
I'm going to cycle through my walkie while I'm driving, and I'm gonna call out the coordinates. Respond.
Now, being a nomad, you know there may be no contacts there, and you want to stay away from the corpo channels, I take it.
Absolutely. I'm still trying, because if I know that these things are on their way, I want to give whoever's in there enough time.
Yeah, and that was for viewers to be aware that in this setting, nomads have working gear. Other people, maybe not. Nomads are the transport of anything functional.
They deliver the gear.
If I get no response, then I'm just gonna focus on driving.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't stop driving. This is the last contact you have to try to find where Angela went. She went cold and disappeared, and we don't know what happened. Sticking her nose in corpo business again.
Not a good idea.
It's the best of ideas. What are you talking about?
Anything else going on inside his head as he's tearing through the miles?
Not specifically. He would be focused on the mission. He's young, but he's an old soldier.
Oh yeah.
And right now he's on a mission. He has nothing else in his head other than the goal.
Makes sense. So as it pans back over to the other group, Blackstone, you're working and trying to get the van done. You're close. You're close. You're so close. You hear a scuffle off to the side where Doc and Seamus went, and you hear gunfire. And you see a few beat up, and kind of like Mad Max vehicles, you know, the spikes on them and everything like that, go tearing off. And the people in them look to be holding some people down and firing back at the group, striking a number of the evacuees.
Waste of bullets.
So, out of character. Never mind. So I go over there, and I look around. Do I see either of them on the ground, or are they gone?
You see FaZe on the ground, bleeding out.
I'll go over there to him and kneel down. FaZe, what happened?
They took them. They grabbed some people. Were threatening us. They saw we weren't armed, grabbed some people and ran.
Did you see who they grabbed?
No, I saw Doc. I don't know anyone else, but I know they got Doc.
Okay. Do you know where Seamus went? Okay. Let me see. I'll see. Is there
And
anything I can do to?
He dies right there.
save us?
As he tells you that,
Oh,
he
he's
just
he
fades
comes- okay.
and dies. Like, he's shot in a number of places.
Okay.
He was one of the front rank people that got hit by the firing. You see there's a half dozen other people just bleeding out and dying. A number of others wounded.
So I'll close his eyes for him, and I'm not a very religious character, so I'll just make some form of I'll just kind of bow my head and like we'll do what we can to right this wrong, and I'll just look around to see what else I can do to help those that were
At this point, I
affected.
will walk up as well, and as he's walking away, I'm going to look down and go, "Friend of yours?"
For a short time. He helped us get out and break everybody out. He was the leader of the resistance.
He would have been a great information source to talk to. Damn it.
Yeah, he was life tech and then rebelled.
Really?
He had really high clearance.
I'm going to take a moment and just brain dance the view of his face, what he looks like, get a setup to be able to know everything that goes along with just how he died, where, and the location, along with a few other people that are here and dead as well.
Sure. You go ahead and get that recorded. Blackstone, you know that it's getting dark. And everyone here is a sitting target for those goons if they come back.
Is there anywhere for people to like shelter?
Back in the complex, that's shutting down, not working.
Yeah, I would
Fixing up a vehicle and getting out of here. That's about it. There's quite a few groups that have been trying to get some of the vehicles at least functional and get out of here.
So I'm gonna go back to the van and see if there's anything I can do to get it running.
Roll
Like
your
you
check.
said, I'm really close. Let me. Is there anything for me to roll that I can? Let's see. Would.
While he's doing that, I'm going to just go to a couple of the other groups and ask questions about their opinions on being captured. I'm basically gathering as much information for a story about this location as I can.
Sure. Well, he gets his roll gun. I'll fill you in on that. They're all pretty much the same story you hear from just about everyone. We were lied to, deceived, shanghaied, abducted, just different forms of unwillingly here, wherever here is. No one even knows where here is.
Great. Back to the van that I was in Blackstone.
Sorry,
So
all my stuff's gone. Like on my character sheet. Sorry. Like when I look at all my cyberware is gone and all my gear is gone.
I see your cyberware and gear and skills.
Well, unless I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Are you looking at the wrong one?
I was looking at G2. Yes, I was probably looking at the wrong one.
G2's
Yes,
dead,
I
man.
was very much.
G2's
I was very
dead.
much- G2 is dead. Yes. Whew. Okay, I feel a lot better now. I'm sorry.
That's all good, man.
Okay, so just basic tech to fix the thing, or land vehicle tech?
Land vehicle tech.
Okay, not as good. So
I mean, it's land vehicle.
we'll just roll. Who cares? I'll take a 9.
23. That is quite good. You go ahead and get this thing up and running fairly well. It's definitely is making some funny noises, but at least is running.
Yep.
Now, Kedwin, I just need you to type /red 1d10.
One second.
This is basically which channel you're on as you flick through. Okay. You pick up a little bit of static, Blackstone, on the stereo you guys installed at the end of last chapter. If you remember, you guys found one, put it in the van.
Yeah.
Well, now that the van's on and working, you hear like someone almost sent a message, but it was not quite on the right channel. Kind of like a bad radio receptor.
Well,
But it was
I'll pick
close.
I'll pick it up and I'll. Roger. Hello.
What are you guys gonna do? You guys gonna hightail it? Anything else you want to do?
Let's see.
I'm going to ask very politely if I can catch a ride.
Probably a good idea.
I would really like to not stay here for the sodomy bikers to come back.
Yeah, hop in. I mean, you know about my parents, so you're definitely coming. Feel like we can help each other out.
Swan out of this fucking wasteland and back to town would be.
Is it hop in?
Are we just taking anyone, man?
Would you like to talk to Harlan over here and? see
Harlan's
what-
bumbling
see
to
how you
himself,
feel?
posing a story. As soon as he got invited into the van, I just got in and start doing that.
So, on the other side of the car, Zid is already seated. he was staring off into the distance for quite a while at the end of last session, and he's as soon as he heard the vehicle rumble to life, he sort of came out of his semi-trance and has made his way to the vehicle. He's gotten in, and he's just sitting, and you can see him, his shoulders sort of rocking back and forth just a little bit. And he sort of looks over to you. So Zid is a he's a Jamaican man, but heavily African influenced in his clothing and especially jewelry. He has 3 neck rings that he's had for pretty much his whole life, as a lot of Africans do. He doesn't have a lip tray or anything, but just has the neck rings. You see, he's tattooed pretty much from head to toe. Think Prison Break kind of level of tats, and they're that sort of thing. Like they're like, you think there might be information there. Actually, being a media and having seen a lot of news stories and a lot of probably code and stuff. There's probably something in there that you recognize, and you probably see a couple of these symbols or tats that tell you a story. Even just briefly, you think war zone, you think combat zone. As soon as you see this grouping, you think combat zone. Just like it just comes to you. So you think Zid might have had some time there, at least. He looks pretty rough, and he's just rocking back and forth, and he's sort of like, well, I don't know, man. It seems like a very strange time to start trusting someone just off the cuff, but
I just want to ride back to town, man. If you want to hold on to my guns in the meantime, you're welcome to them. I'm not a threat. I got a story to compose about what the street kids being abducted and everything else going here. That's what I'm gonna do. You need me to shoot at something? Point me at it.
He sort of, gives you a slight shake of his head, and he goes, I'm not in the mood to argue at the moment, so get yourself comfortable. There's some storage in the back. Mind you, put stuff in and don't take stuff that is not yours out.
Oh, I don't borrow things without being told I can take it. That's a shitbag.
And he goes back to staring out of the window again.
All right.
I'm going to give him a look up and down while he's staring out the window so that I can try to figure out from the tats and any information that I can glean about him, where he's from, which combat zone, how long ago, things like that.
As he turns away, you will see that he's got some serious tech on his back. It's pretty clear that he can plug in.
Anything Anansi the Spider is probably going to bring up something for Zid too.
Oh yeah, there's stuff about Anansi the Spider everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, so primarily, I think, you would just note that he is definitely a netrunner. You definitely see the tech that is required for that. As far as everything else, I don't know. It's up to you, TM, how much he might glean just from looking at the tat.
Yeah. Let's figure out a good knowledge-based, like education-style skill for him to roll. debating between like local expert and education.
They're both the same for me. So
Yeah, go for it then. Ooh, not bad. So yeah, he knows a decent bit. He'd probably be able to pick up some minor details about some of your connections based on those tattoos and such.
So yeah, he's wearing urban gear, urban flash, and you see that it's definitely faded and beaten. You think he's probably found it in trash cans or at least he's been on the run for a while. You certainly get that idea. And in addition, let's see, interface plugs like I was saying, and tats that point to a life of gaining access to like old bunkers, breaking in, living there for a couple of days, and then having to run away when someone found him. Like it's a very pursued kind of storyline.
Do you have your little boy pistol sitting next to you?
Oh, no.
Okay. I didn't know where you'd stash your thud gun.
It would probably be in the stash.
Okay.
I'm not sure that he would associate it with me at the moment.
No. I didn't know if you had it on. If you had it on you, it'd kind of be like, that's a really big shotgun.
No, I wouldn't have it on me. It would be in the car, I think.
Okay.
I
Well,
would've
I didn't know if you'd have it
stashed
next to you
everything.
in the car or not, because you said you're in the car.
I am in the car. Do you have to get out of the car to access the stash, or can you reach out from the back?
Yeah,
seat?
well, the stash would be in the back of the van, and you could sit in one of the seats at the front of the van. You could actually sit in the passenger seat or driver's seat if you wanted. I don't know who's driving. That was the next thing I was going to ask.
I mean, I've got a driving and riding. It's the same. So for now, I can drive. I don't mind.
It would be drive-land vehicle, yeah.
And how many seats is the van? Like, I would be in a back seat if I could.
There was 4 seats. The 5th one is kind of a little bit janky. You think you might be able to get someone in it, but probably not going to be very comfortable. And then you have your bag in the very back where there used to be seats.
Yeah, so probably. So are there all 4 seats in the front? I'm not understanding.
So there's 2 seats in the front.
Yeah.
And there's 1 seat behind the front. And there's 2 seats behind that.
So they're like captain's chairs.
Yeah. And then the 1 seat behind the drivers is a little bit
I would
partially
be in
attached.
the very back then.
Okay.
I'd be on the away from the door on the far side of the van at the back.
Okay.
When you got in, and I
So
would
then,
look
yeah, right behind you
at
would
the
be
door
the
when
stash.
he came in, and yeah, that's where you would see me. Yeah, so yeah, I can grab it. Is the idea?
Okay.
So,
well, if they didn't ask me to give up my gun, I didn't intend to. I'm just going to make sure that it's accessible in case more of them fucking lunatics come back.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Like he can hold on to it.
Okay. So yeah, that's where you guys are at.
So yeah, is there a way for like if I do like an electronic security role, is there some way that I can kind of luck my way into finding that the channel that?
Well, actually, you would need to focus on driving because it's not second nature to you. You haven't been driving a whole lot,
yeah,
so
that's
I would see you as focusing on driving. You could ask Harlan or Zid to move up next to you in the passenger seat and start fiddling with the knobs, seeing if you can find anything.
So I'm gonna Harlan come up here with me into the passenger seat, and let's try and figure out let's try and hail somebody on this radio.
All right. Sure. Not a problem. I come up and I start messing with the radio. We need me to roll for that, if anything.
Just have you roll a d10 to start with.
It's /red space 1d10. There you go.
Okay. So this is, let's see, it was, yeah, so you hear a little bit of noise on the line. It's like,
Try to tune it a little bit closer.
okay. Do you tune up or down?
Whichever
Basically
way
left
is
or
away
right.
from the corpo frequencies at that point.
Okay. TK, are you scrolling up or down from your current position on the dial?
I probably would have been counting down.
Okay. So as you guys do that, are you saying anything or are you just dialing?
This whole time I've been spouting the coordinates,
Okay.
and then I say respond.
Mixed nuts.
Oh.
For Harlan, would he be saying anything or just trying to tune it and listen?
I'm tuning and listening right
Okay.
now.
So eventually you hear a series of numbers. Respond.
Is that where we are?
We're close.
Actually answer this guy?
I don't see why not, because it's not really. He doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like a corpo.
And at this, I take it you guys are driving, just to be clear. You guys are driving.
Yeah, we're just getting
Away.
away from the
Yep.
camp. We're not like we haven't picked a direction yet. We're just like kind of just
You
trying.
know Night City is west, possibly a little south, from where you're currently at.
Okay.
So I kind of figured you probably would start heading that direction.
Yeah, that's probably a good. That's probably it. Now.
If I'm the one on the radio at this point and he says to go ahead and respond, I'm going to respond with bit found scream sheet. What do you need?
Joe, you hear this coming over the radio.
Is this the coordinates?
We're close. Look out for the asshole nomads there that are shooting people, though.
Strike AVs on your way. You should take evasive maneuvers.
I don't
Did I
want.
hear the word strike AV?
Oh yeah, you just heard strike AV. Which way are we going?
Do you have a vehicle?
Yes.
Just a quick thing. Blackstone and Zid, you do recall there is strike AVs inbound, so you know about this. So you know someone else is now aware of it and is telling you guys, warning you.
Yeah, I like whenever I heard strike AV come over the radio, I immediately like took my eyes off the road and like went over there and just thought.
Let's have you roll a driving check.
As I'm gonna reach out, and try to. Well, the road's over here.
He's slightly busy. So, Harlan and Joe can keep talking while he deals with his IRL thing, and then he can roll it. Does
Do
his
you have a
cargo off the
vehicle?
road.
Yes, it's a clunker, but we're in motion now.
Fucking I list the model of the. What's the model of the car I'm driving? I forget.
You have a Americar Family Star van that is highly modified by Nomad.
America, coming up on your 6. I am support.
I'm guessing I would hear this even from the back seat.
Oh yeah,
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not
so
being
Zid is currently now knees on his seat as he bends over the back seat to open the stash and start pulling shit out, because he doesn't know how close this is, but it sounds like really awfully uncomfortably close.
You know they're coming in hot, but you know you have somewhere between 12 and 24 hours before they strike the complex. You're the only one.
He's still on edge. Like, he's heard that someone's coming in.
I didn't know that.
No, you don't know.
Frame, so
Yeah, you don't know. You just know that they're
my
inbound.
panic is very real.
It should be. The only one who's been given any sort of time frame was Zid when he was going into his incorporeal form.
Yeah, and I could be wrong. So, like, Zid's he's getting stuff out.
Do I have a name of the contact?
How much did Angela tell you about her corpo snooping? Would she have given you?
Would have kept it fairly close to the chest.
What would be a code name?
It's okay if I don't have a name.
Well, what would be a code name she'd give for him?
Probably.
He's an older guy. He's often bloodied and bruised. Sticks his nose into all the stuff like she was doing.
The first thing that came to my mind is something to do with cheese. Help me out here, Harlan. What did Angela make fun of you about?
Oh, I never take the time to clean the blood off my face.
Bloody cheese.
I'm going with it. And so Adjo just kind of shakes his head. Is there a bloody cheese among you?
And anybody who's paying attention to me is going to watch me visibly start and kind of go, it's who you're speaking to.
Does the name Angela mean anything to you?
Yeah, I haven't seen her since my last beating. Don't know where she is now. Looking for her.
Me too.
I'm going to turn my head to my newfound, I don't know if I want to call them allies yet, acquaintances. If he knows Angela, we can trust him. At least a little.
When was the last time you saw her?
What's today's date? I've been in a cryopod for an indeterminate amount of time.
I would give the date.
See, it's 2047. Pick a date.
Tuesday.
So, based on the reckoning he gives you, you think you've been in cryo for about a month.
Approximately a month ago would have been the last time we were in contact. As far as I know, she may have gotten away. I'm not so lucky.
And this is why you've been so antsy and jumped at any opportunity to expend all your money to find her, because you've been bouncing around trying to find any details, and the first ping you got was this one.
So has it been about a month that I've been looking for, or longer?
Well, it's probably just a little bit less, because sometimes she disappeared for a few days. But when she didn't show back up for a week, you started snooping around. No one's seen her. That's not normal. Because sometimes she'd try to, just tell you, hey, give me a few days.
She would have to make
I'm on a job.
at the station.
Hmm?
Every once in a while. She would have to make reports at the station every once in a while.
And when that was failed, that's when you're like, there's something going on, and you start pushing.
Got it. My name is Adjo. Did she tell you about me?
Did Angela ever mention anything about her personal life? Or were we
she probably wouldn't give you his actual name. But she probably did mention, I gotta get home. I'm seeing I think you were just boyfriend and girlfriend then, right?
Yeah.
I gotta go home. I had dinner planned with my boyfriend. I'll pick up here tomorrow.
She ever refer to him as anything specific, nickname, anything at all?
That would kind of be up to Table Knights. Table Knights, do you think Angela would have done that?
They were friends while they were like working the case. Like, if they liked each other, she probably would have said something to him.
They were work associates. I don't know that they necessarily got super close. It was more just their work associates. They had similar philosophies of trying to mess with the corpos.
Oh, my question then, I'm going to throw it to Harlan.
Mhm.
Were you and Angela more than just work associates? Were you friends? Because after a certain amount of working a case together, you might get attached to somebody.
Oh, I liked her, but she's just work. We were focused on the job.
Okay. Then no, she probably wouldn't have given you any extra information.
But by this point, if this is someone specifically searching for her, she did mention boyfriend, got to get home, going to dinner. It's just going to be like, are you the boyfriend?
Yes.
How far are we from Night City? I'm asking, because he would know.
He's
Yeah,
been
how-
traveling for a week or two because it's bad roads, badlands, so you're not driving at, full highway speeds, right? If you do that, you trash your vehicle. And it's a good, quarter of the country's width away. So it's not just around the corner.
A couple of weeks.
Yeah. So he has to completely cross over through Nevada and part of 2 other states.
A while.
And this
Some
is
more.
on bad roads. So a few weeks, probably week and a half.
Does this vehicle have the fuel to make it that far with what we found?
No, I looked down at the fuel gauge and it's not there.
I mean,
It's really close.
It's around a quarter
it's
of a
like,
tank.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely near quarter, under a quarter.
I'm going to be like, we need to meet up with you. This vehicle only has a quarter tank of fuel. We're never going to make it that far.
Lucky for you, I am a nomad.
That
And
That
you're going to watch
name-
my hands go up, and I'm going to be
Yeah.
like, yes, supplies.
that name would be like glorious to you guys because nomads rule everything outside the cities.
Yeah, this makes me really happy to hear that the person that we are talking to is a nomad.
And not
This is
one-
basically the equivalent. I mean, this is almost like the equivalent of like a like we're shipwrecked or we're like drifting in the ocean and somebody
A
like
boat
in a
comes
ship
out.
comes. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, I really didn't want to be digging through the seat cushions trying to find a peanut to survive.
And I roll up on them.
Okay. So let's see. I didn't see a roll from you, Azrael,
I didn't.
for
what do you need me to roll?
land vehicle. When you heard that, like you
Drive-
said, you kind
drive
of would have
land vehicle?
shifted. Yeah, drive land vehicles,
Okay.
just to see if you keep control or if you kind of bump off.
16?
Okay. So you like skid off the road a bit. You know how when like you start dozing, sometimes you like nick the edge.
Yep.
You're like, you're like,
Oh, I know it very well. It's
Yeah,
happened to me.
you hit that. You don't go all the way off the road, but you're like, okay, I need to focus. That was dangerous.
Yeah.
Now these roads are basically more break pieces of road between each other and trying to go where it was paved at one time, so there's less likely chances of rocks and other obstacles. The term road is used loosely here because a lot of them are not upkept at all. And as you guys know, if you don't keep a road conditioned and you just leave it for a while, 100 years down the road, it's in great condition.
100 years down the road, there's places in Texas where they stopped doing it like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's already to a dirt wasteland.
And that was that was technically a joke because they had been updated 50 years ago, so it wasn't actually 100 years ago, but still, like you said, even a couple years they start showing bad. And so that's the condition of these roads, is so that people understand the setting, right? We're not talking, when we say highways, it's the old mapped highways that people are driving.
It's more like
But-
a cracked together stone bridge that you really hope hasn't fallen apart.
Yeah, so when I say it takes a while, that's why.
So I have no concept of the fact that the strike AVs are going to take multiple hours to get there.
No.
So I start talking them through how to siphon the gas efficiently and unload their stuff, unless one of them goes, we got some time, but I'm basically paranoid getting them ready to jump in my van and bug the fuck out.
Nobody said anything to me about time at that point for what the timing is on it. All I know is I heard that there were strike AVs inbound.
So,
I want someone in the junker van,
yeah.
one of you three, to roll a luck roll. So
I'll
you
take
need
that because I've got the high one.
you need to roll at or below your luck. Go ahead and
You
roll.
want me to do, like,
Oh wow,
the
you got
1D.
you really upped your luck.
Yeah, I'm at 9.
So you have a good chance of
I'm
making
down
this
to
thing.
mine.
Yeah, I upped mine.
We had luck transfer.
Fuck you.
No. Under your luck.
Oh, definitely. Definitely good. Wow.
I said under. It's the first one. Is all we took.
Okay.
Another guy said that luck isn't typically used for any rolls, but he likes using it for chance rolls, right?
Sure.
It's a random chance, and so he likes having it where it's at or below your luck. Are you lucky or not? So it fits, and I like that system for things that are like, are you lucky enough or not? And so that's why I do that. So it wasn't my idea; I
Makes
stole it
sense.
from someone else, but it works.
Yeah.
So, roll a 1. If you had failed, your car would be stalling because the gas is coagulated. Because it has been sitting there for quite a while.
Yeah.
It's
Turn to shellac.
definitely not running well because it's been sitting there,
Sure.
and you can tell. Harlan's probably thinking like, wow, this is really bad car, because, the only cars you ever been in were probably your mom and dad's, other than public transit. So this thing is like absolute other end of atrocious. You've never heard a car sounding like it's choking. And
Anytime Zed's been in a car, it's
Oh,
been
yeah.
like anytime. He's
Yeah.
never been in a decent car ever.
no, to you, this is like, yep, it's probably going to die any second now, because they all
Yeah,
do.
he knows. Yeah, he's ready. He's ready to pack up and leave.
So I've noticed already that Zed has full capabilities for jacking in.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you've seen it.
I'm gonna brush back and I'm gonna pull a brain dance chip out and say, if you want to see what they ended up doing to me on the way in,
So Zed will see this from the back to the front. It's like sees the chip come out, and he goes, "How bad is it?"
well, I'm gonna look back at him and say, do you see the amount of blood on my clothing?
So he literally has blood like down his
Yeah,
face
yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
coming out his nose, and it's all dry. But
And I said, and on a rating of 1 to 10 amongst the worst beatings I've had, this would be about a 4.
All right. So he will sort of lean up, grab the chip, and sit back down, and pop it in.
okay, I want you to roll a resist torture drug.
Excellent.
Oh,
This is precisely what I've been made for. not. I did up it by 1 because I did have some pretty awful
You
shit.
got literally dissolved
Oh
in
my god.
Nice.
Oh!
25.
Oh!
So you're being dissolved into particulate matter of dust and nothingness. Apparently has given you some resilience.
Apparently.
Hey.
At least for this today.
Right? So you basically, those who don't know, brain dance is literally a recording of someone's feelings, emotions, and everything they experienced onto a data chip that other people can then view.
I was amazed it was still in there in the cryopod.
Transfer all of that info. So Zid now gets to mentally experience these very large people with just insane levels of cybernetic modifications, cyberware, beating the living daylights out of him and just drilling him for questions.
Yeah.
And the last thing you hear before they knock me out, it was me looking up going, well, I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, you hear that and you see the biggest hand in the group, full strength, just
Alright. He'll take the chip out. And he'll talk internally for a second. What he does, he might look at the back and you'll see the chip in his hands, and he's got one hand over the other and the chip in the top hand. He's like looking down at it, so he's sort of silent for a second as he sort of looks down at the chip. Internally, he says, is there any suited individuals behind those big guys that might be in the shadows?
scanning.
Why I wanted another set of eyes.
Affirmative. Very well, astutely planned, Zid. There is indeed. They are behind one-way glass. If you wish to reinsert the chip, I can show you a thermal vision equivalent of it.
So, he'll see the chip in Zid's hands, and then Zid sort of grabs his thumb and flicks it up, catches it, puts it back in.
Oh, a glutton, huh?
It goes to the scene, and it's paused.
Yeah.
And you see a blue, like almost like flame or electricity, like ripple across the screen.
Yeah.
And you see like basically an infrared version of it, and you see behind them, you can see a lineup of 3 individuals on the other side of this black screen, it looks like. But now you know it's a one-way glass. Completely unable to be seen or heard. Watching this undertaking.
Alright. And so I just see like an outline, a thermal outline.
Yeah. Have you ever seen thermal vision?
Oh, yeah.
Infrared? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's what you see. You see these 3 individuals behind the big brutes.
Alright. Do the figures all look about the same size as far as thermal imaging? Like you get a general core picture, right? Like it's
And you're talking about the 3 behind, right? Not the
Yeah.
3 brutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one is decently rugged size, one is more slender, and then one looks to be more effeminate body.
Alright, so again, he pops it out, and he carefully pulls up. He goes, "All right, man." He'll hand it back, and he'll say, "Those 3 behind the the Wizard of Oz curtain man. Those are the ones you should be taking more attention to.
Now, Harlan, there's only those 3 brutes in the room beating you. What Wizard of Oz curtain? What 3 other guys?
I'm gonna be like, okay. I had no idea there was anybody back there, but I figured these 3 brutes were being directed by someone. I mean, muscle don't do things on their own usually unless they're being paid.
Goes, I can't tell you much about them, man. Just that one seemed maybe slender, one looked more rugged, and one, well, possibly was a woman.
Great. The first
They were
connection-
behind one-way glass, man. No way we can actually get a picture.
Any way you can tell from what they look like whether you could get an idea of the kind of cyberware they had? Were you
No,
see
man.
thermal? Were you see no?
Yeah, it was just the heat, man.
Now, Harlan,
Uh,
this is throwing you for a loop because you've never heard of anyone being able to just pop a chip in and view a brain dance and be able to modify it like that. You need equipment to do that.
I'm not questioning it anyway. I filed it. I
Yeah.
filed said information.
I'm
But
just
I'm not
making sure
questioning
that Mixed Nuts is aware of what would register in Harlan's mind is all.
Oh yeah, got it. So, you running around with a pocket AI? Just kind of
Sorry.
because the only thing going through my mind is that's the only thing that'd be powerful enough to be able to immediately process.
How would an AI be able to fit? AIs have been outlawed as well.
Oh, yeah, they've been outlawed, sure. And all the things that Life Tech has done has been totally above board and legal. I don't believe for a second that there isn't a dozen of those within 5 miles of where I am right now. And I'm in the middle of the wasteland, not in the middle of the city. Remember, paranoid news fuck.
Zid, so is this something that you actually out loud ask?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, what, you got a pocket AI hidden in there? How the fuck did you dig through that?
He goes, ha! Yeah, man, a pocket AI. Let's call it that. Yes.
Gonna run my voice stress analyzer on that comment. How much truth is he actually telling me or not?
He thinks what you're saying is probably silly. Like, am I right, Zid? Like, you're like, yeah, sure.
Well, that's the cover. Yes. So the way that Zid answers questions like that is like, did you do this horrible thing? Zid would be like, ha, of course I did that. Of course, you know, and he would try to play it off as that's the biggest joke in the world. So I'm not sure. I think it's deception, right? Like he's trying to play cool. It's a cool check, probably.
Yeah, let's do. It's basically
Sometime.
a cool check versus
Versus a human perception check, I would assume.
probably.
So what do we got? That's like a. Is it just straight cool? Do you think?
For you,
You're-
it would be either persuasion or conversation. Probably persuasion.
Yeah, let's go for a persuasion roll. So we will get a grand total of 12. Go
Okay.
ahead and roll your perception, is
Let's
it?
see what you get, Harlan.
Oh, you're gonna easily see through it. Yeah, so Zid is telling the truth, but in a joking way to try and play it off that it's not truth.
It seems like it's not true, but not untrue.
Pocket AI is not quite right, but yeah,
But it's close.
There's
it's close
something.
enough that Zid's uncomfortable
Yeah.
and trying
Close
to
enough
play
for
it off.
government work.
Yeah, that's like a half a mile away at Horseshoes, though.
I mean, I get kind of like whenever I hear him make the comment like the whole pocket AI, I get shifty eyed and
Oh yeah, you
Yes,
know.
Yeah, I start like kind of like talking under my breath, like, what the fuck?
Keep your eyes on the road.
Once again, enhanced hearing says if I can hear him go, what the fuck? God damn it! How they?
Wait, are they not pulling over and like getting their ride ready? Because like
No.
I've been on the radio blaring instructions at them.
They're driving in the middle of nowhere right now, so they would be a big target. They do see possibly some buildings up in the distance. As the light's going down, like you see, the sun's coming down, right? And so just a little bit you see in the distance like some buildings or something.
Yeah,
We
we
need
can
a
head.
meet. We need a meet point, is what I'm gonna say to Asia. Go ahead. Sorry.
Coordinates.
You guys don't have coordinates like a
We don't
does.
have them.
Jesus.
We don't have any
You
navigation
fucking
here.
It's fucking city gups.
Yes, yes, I will absolutely say yes to that. Which, oh, by the way, Zed, all of the cursing or internal cursing that you heard, do you speak Polish during the beating?
Do I speak Polish?
No.
Recognize-
Language isn't translated.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Eastern European language is what I was
Yeah.
cursing at the entire time. they were beating
Sid
shit up.
Sid would not understand it. He might understand that it's cursing. Like there's like
That's obvious.
It's like
Yeah,
Firefly style cursing.
right. But yeah,
gonna-
he definitely does not speak Polish or any Eastern European. Like yeah, that.
I'm going to give a description of the buildings that we see and the direction that we headed from the coordinates we started at. And that's where we're going to probably try to stop to try to meet up with you.
Adjo,
Does that help?
as they start
Yeah,
giving,
that helps.
they say they headed west from those coordinates. The only buildings they could see with any time frame that has happened is the ghost city, the desolate area on Interstate 15. And you're like,
Do I know anything about that as like a good or bad thing?
oh, it's basically think Fallout City wasteland, no people living there.
So good-ish for our purposes.
Less likely to have people waiting there to rob us.
Yeah. So at that, as you guys are pondering this, I was going to go ahead, since it's at a good point, we're going to take our quick 10-minute break, let everyone grab a drink, go to the bathroom, and pick back up for the rest of this. Does that work with you guys?
Sure.
Okay.
For me.
And welcome back, everyone, from a lovely break. I got my coffee, so we can continue. Hope you guys all had a good break, got your drink, got your rest, recovery, and preparedness. So, you guys are traveling along. We're going to go ahead and fast forward a little bit, unless there's anything you guys want to do.
I'm just going to spend my time composing my story, so I'm going to basically, to the rest of the group, sound like I'm mumbling to myself, using my eternal recorder to get that ready to go.
I'm trying not to run off the road again.
So, this is basically where you guys are at.
You'll need to change it to unoccluded.
I see nothing but blackness.
Nothing but blackness. I missed something on the settings. What did I do wrong?
It just needs to
Oh, the global illumination got turned
global
off.
illumination. Yeah.
Are we good now?
Hang on, let me reload it.
If not, I might need to just kick out and kick back in.
I'm just reloading it.
Yeah, mine said something about a token, like not having a token.
And you do not own any token with vision in this scene.
That.
That one.
Oh, okay.
Also me. Okay, so that might be
You
it. We just need
should
to give our
own a
tokens
token in
vision.
the scene, but apparently a container doesn't count. I thought that would work. So we'll just go ahead and throw everyone on here, just so that they have sight.
Oh, hey. Now I see it.
Alright.
That's a
Oh,
nifty
yeah.
little map.
Yeah, I found it, and it made me very happy. So, you guys were coming from here over this way to the city you saw here, and Joe was coming up the road this way, and either took the
It
road
wasn't too far
or
off.
drove through. Nope.
Not
Nope.
too far off.
And so, as you can tell, the reason I said a few weeks out is because on really bad, unkept roads, yeah, I could see that taking a couple weeks.
Where is Night City again?
Right over here.
Dead about midway
To the south,
along the coast of California.
east.
So it's what? Not San Jose, because San Jose is higher.
Yeah.
It's like halfway between San Francisco and.
It's halfway between LA and San Francisco. That's how they designed it. It technically is not an existing city, which was intentional by the game designers. Because they didn't want
Yes.
to have to worry about someone being like, they're making fun of our city, or, any of that potential headache. And so they literally made it be a new city so they could actually take aspects from all cities and put it in one. And so it seems like all the cities, none of the cities, it's its own place.
Well, I mean, and it's also good that you don't have to deal with somebody going, well, wait, this map should be of this city and we need to do all that. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Fun fact: it's not called Night City because of like day and night. It's called Night City because of the man that founded it.
Correct. So you guys meet up and drive to Idaho Falls is where you meet up.
I almost had a job there once.
Really? Did you know it's a ghost town?
Now, in reality. And it was a call center job, so that still counts as ghosts.
Right? So, this is where you guys meet up.
Huh.
A lovely, desolate area off the side of Interstate 15.
When we get out stopped, I'm going to start trying to, from memory, following the best I can of the instructions I was given for how to siphon gas out of there, and finding out that what we got is more sludge than gas.
Yeah, you're realizing that there may be negative repercussions to trying to reuse this gas, because it's barely can be called gas. The reason it can still be called gas is because there is an amazing luck roll.
Quick question. Is there something that we can use, or like a chemical that can desludgify gas?
Don't think that's really very possible.
I didn't know if they had something in
If you use
universe.
Chew-2, then yes, potentially, but that's not technically gas. It's the new form of gas, which is what Adjo's van runs on. Your van doesn't run on that. Adjo, when you see their van, you see a relic that belongs in a museum with how old of a model it is. No one uses those anymore. You can't get fuel for them anymore.
I roll my window down. What are you city cops doing out here?
We're alive, aren't we?
I wouldn't really call driving that being alive, but sure.
Adjo, you knowing the Badlands, the non-populated areas, you look up the road and you see a number of headlights driving your way, the same way they came. And off in the dirt, you see a few more headlights. They're not heading for the other headlights, so you see headlights here, and then you see some other headlights going this way to where it looks like the headlights came from. So it looks like, based on what they told you, that the raider group, for lack of a better term, you don't know who it is, but the raider group, for lack of a better description, is going back to strike anyone who remains at those coordinates.
Okay, so I'm like, okay. And I come park over by them, and I say, this looks like every other heap of metal indies in the place. God, that is ugly. And I hop out of it, and I go, so who among you is, and then I look, and I see the guy covered in blood.
I mean, my face is washed, but I haven't taken the time to clean any clothing yet.
She's told you more than once he's come to work looking like he woke up in a morgue.
And I go,
Your bloody cheese.
it must be him. I go, and I put my
Marlon,
I put my hand out to you.
I'll shake his hand. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the standard thing that I do, being who I am, though.
I look at him like death squeezing my hand, and I go, "That's not needed."
Oh, sorry. It's a family thing.
Yeah, you feel kind of weird because he gave you a corpo handshake. Joe, you know what a corpo handshake's like. You had it in your past.
Yeah.
Why is this weird bloody media giving you a corpo handshake?
I kind of shake my hand off, and I go, when you last saw her, what was she doing?
And I will give the full description of us working the story for the abducted children and getting to the point where I ran out to distract in the hopes that she could get away, and that's where I ended up in the cryo pod. I don't know if they got her or whether she got away or not.
No one's heard from her in about a month.
Which is about how long I've been missing.
And I look at the other two, and I'm like, I'm the guy on the radio, obviously. You got any gear?
Yes, we do. Lots
Is
of
it, all
gear.
is it all in one container?
Zid sits on the container and says,
It's technically a very large bag that looks like it should have a body in it. Because that's what they used. They grabbed a corpse
body?
bag, a corpse bag from the med center, and their med tech was the one who did that and loaded up all their gear into it.
yeah, well, he'll position himself between this new figure and the bag. And he'll be like, he'll put his hand on it and be like,
Adjo, it looks like he's patting a weird shaped body because you've seen these body bags before.
Did you all do a bloody murder on the way over here?
Friend, I assure you that's not a body in there.
Oh.
It's a lot
we
of
could
stuff, that's not a
arrange
body.
for one to be in here if things don't go the right way.
Yeah, Zid. This person is here to this person can transport us to Night City. Let's.
Do I recognize anything on Zed as being?
Oh, you've seen some of his tribal stuff before, because some of the other people where you grew up, some of them did the tribal stuff.
Hold
some
on.
didn't.
One second. There we go. Go ahead. Sorry.
So yeah, some of the people where you grew up did do some of the tribal stuff, because you actually grew up in South Africa, you said.
Yep.
And so some of them did, some of them didn't do it. So you would know about the tribal rings and stuff like that. So you're like, I know where that comes from.
I look at Zed and I go, "You are a water boy."
He goes, I spent some time in the combat zone, man.
What was the corporation that I served?
I don't know that we gave it a name, because it
was some military.
It was a military corporation, but the military corporation, you were never given its name. You just know it was
like
military dealings.
I think it started with a D or something.
No, Danger Gals is the bodyguard.
Oh, wait, you're saying I was
that your
never
friend went to.
given
Yes.
the name when I served?
Yes.
Okay, well, do I at least know what my unit's name was?
Yeah, you can come up with that. It was whatever your group called yourselves. So that's something you can make.
Probably something armor. I was in South Africa. I was with Rhino's armor division.
Alright, once. Just need to check something.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to get the bag and load it into his van, Zed?
He goes, well, that van looks better than ours, but you
does
say
look
that
better. It is
because
better.
he knows this woman that you worked with, that he must be trustworthy. I don't know how you come to that. One guy knows a girl and another guy knows a girl, and suddenly the other guy that knows the girl is trustworthy. What is that?
Our other choices are rotting here in this ghost town.
What he said.
What is one vet to another? I trust you to get on my car.
I vote we get in the car.
Yeah, so Zid will come right up to you. He will look you up and down. He will put out his hand to shake your hand. He will say, the name is Zidane Cross. This is not an American name. sorry, this is not an African name that you've heard of.
What nationality?
Zid is Jamaican.
Okay.
There's not a lot of Jamaicans represented in the cyberpunk world, but Creole is mentioned. It's not one of the main ones. There are two main locations for them. One is from the African region, and one is like American, with some mixed in with the Haitian kind of community as well.
So at that he would go, well, regardless, it's good to know that we have someone who can put up a fight. And
Sid goes, what?
you said you were a vet, yeah?
He says, I spent time on the combat zone, man. Most of it was running away.
Hey, running is just another form of fighting.
But I do know how to rig defensive explosives, man.
And you did your part, and I pat him in the chest.
Alright. Yeah, so I'll shake his hand. I'll look him in the eye and I'll go, we have been through a lot in the last month and, well, a little longer. It has been very harrowing. We have lost companions, friends, and my family is still... I don't know where. I will trust you for now, and you put us in your ship. So, thank you.
And he just kind of nods to that. And he looks to the other guy, and your name?
So you can call me Blackstone. I've seen combat.
Blackstone?
Yeah, like Black Rock, but Blackstone.
Yeah. You're a vet too?
I wouldn't say I've served, but I've seen more combat than our friend here. And I pull out my my gun, and this has put down several corpos recently.
Is that the one that
Why
took your
are you
arm
saying
off?
that like there's something to brag about? You just putting a giant target on the back of your head, and you are not getting in my van. I'm only doing this as a favor to him. And I point to Harlan.
We'll find Angela. Figure out what's going on with this. We'll understand what Life Tech is up to. By the way, you know anything about them?
Yes.
Do I know anything about Life Tech?
You're not. You know that was the corp name mentioned that she was investigating.
I know that's what she was looking into.
Yeah.
Well, we have, you know what they say, first-hand experience.
What he said. Yeah, I mean, so myself, Zid, and two of our friends that were kidnapped, we broke everybody out of the complex, that including Harlan. Harlan was trapped in there as well, so we freed him and many hundreds of other people from this complex that you say had strike teams inbound. So
Yeah, Life Tech's planning to clean up the mess that they left behind, so we don't have any accountability.
Now, Zid, he says Life Tech's coming to clean it up, and you're like, it's not Life Tech. Life Tech got shut down.
Right, yeah, so Zid goes, where you get this information?
Oh, this is
No. So I know that it's not Life Tech coming, but what was it was a mercenary group, right?
It's a mercenary group that was hired by your contractor,
Yes.
Ziggurat.
Yes.
So
that was right.
Ziggurat has
So,
hired a mercenary group of solos,
Yeah.
and they're coming in hot.
So he's like, oh no, it is not as simple as Life Tech themselves. No, there are mercenaries, and it will please you no end, man, that Ziggurat has hired them.
So we can sit here and. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, just a quick update for you all before you go, just so you understand. Ziggurat is a completely different company that does completely different things than Life Tech. And that kind of rings a bell of like, oh no, is this going to spring into another corporate war? We just survived the last corporate war and had a nuke blow up half of Night City. But that's the background to whatever you say from here on, just so you know.
So I look at them and I go, listen, we can sit here and we can pussyfoot all day, as you always say, but we can also get in the car and start on the long road.
I'm
Do
about to
you
get in the
know how
car.
to drive competently? Because by the look of your vehicle, I don't really trust that.
It's not my vehicle, by the way.
I don't drive.
Now, you will say there, Adjo, the fact that someone could actually make this thing run, you're fairly impressed at.
Yeah, the maintenance, though, I'm a little.
He's the guy to got it going. I did a thing or two, but it would not be the first time that I got behind the wheel, but I
Well,
would
then
not.
you are going to be with him, and I point towards Harlan. You are going to sleep, and when I'm going to sleep, you take over.
Can do.
And I'm gonna walk
And-
up to the body bag. I'm gonna grab one end and grab the other end, and I'm gonna try to pick it up off the ground and carry it by myself.
Now, you have a body 8, which is the highest body in the group. But this thing feels like they somehow crammed like 3 or 4 dead bodies in this thing.
You want me to make
But
a roll to attempt it?
Yeah, but it's not. It's basically how much do you struggle with it, right? It weighs a lot, and it doesn't even move like a body. It moves like there's a whole bunch of smaller items in here. Yeah, so you have a really hard time with it. It's like
Somebody get the other end of this fucking
boy.
thing.
I got it.
it's you can do it. You just were not expecting that level of oomph to it.
There aren't any grenades in here, are there?
There might be a couple.
No explosives. No explosives on my baby.
So
Zid has procured whatever grenades there were in there onto his person.
I will say, just for our lovely viewers to know exactly what is in the bag that was picked up, so the other players don't know. Just to make it clear, I'm just giving a rundown for the viewers to be aware. There's an assault rifle, an energy hand cannon, energy pistol, energy pistol, energy pistol, Malorian, medium pistol, a whole bunch of ammo, a whole bunch of sets of armor, a turret. All this stuff was crammed in this big body bag.
Yep.
Hence
Careful with the
why
turret, please.
I said it weighed a lot. And it looks like a
Because it
few dead
does.
bodies were in it. And it's very, yeah.
Weighs probably what, 200-300 pounds?
With how much ammo and stuff in there, yeah, it probably weighs a few hundred pounds. Actually, you have the
Alright, big
Malorian
boy.
on you, so why is it in the stash?
I have no idea. No clue.
Got duplicated. You duplicated item. I'm deleting that. You don't get 2 of them.
Okay. Sounds good. Alright, Captain.
Oh, just so everyone's aware, that was a unfortunate lucky thing they were able to grab their hands on. But a Malorian, just so you're aware, costs 10,000 eddies.
It's my baby.
Yeah,
So we know what to
She has a
sound
name.
when you get blown to pieces. Got it.
right.
She has a name.
So the nice brand new car that your friend's driving, if it was brand new, cost 34,000 eddies. So your gun, one gun, is nearly a third the cost of a brand new vehicle. Just to put things in
worth it.
perspective.
Load this up into the back.
Yeah, Zid will help with whatever miscellaneous stuff to take over.
So, there's nothing else we want out of this van, right?
Just the radio. Well, I don't even know if we need the radio. How's your
Always
radio,
good to
Audrey?
strip for parts. Hold on. And I go over and I just try and shred the radio out there as quick as I can with my tools.
Sure. Roll a basic tech would be to dismantle it.
How do I roll specific stuff?
So you open your character sheet on the skills, you scroll down to that skill and just click the word, and it pops up a nice nifty thing. You can see the breakdown of what the roll is going to be, and then you just hit confirm and it rolls.
Basic tech, you said, right?
Yeah.
Did you tell him about the luck? Use it or lose
Yes.
it?
Yes. Luck is a burnable thing that is a modifier to your roll. One luck gives you a +1 on a roll.
I see tech plate instrument.
Basic text underneath technique on the far
Yeah,
right.
so if you scroll down under skills on the
Oh,
far
I have
right,
to scroll down. My
there
bad.
is tech skills,
Basic tech.
and then under tech skills, you'll see basic tech.
And how much luck do I have? Or
Now, if you want to strip it for parts, you could always ask if others in the group have that ability as well.
so my base is 3 for tech. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm pretty high. I'm the tech.
Okay, so then
Let's
since
see
I
here.
know vehicles, could I assist him?
Oh, it's actually a separate radio. It's not actually built into the car even. They basically hot-wired a separate CB that was in the security station into the van so they could have one with them. So it's not a
okay.
vehicle. It's not a vehicle one.
Yeah,
It's Jimmy rigged, haywired. Like you go to look at it and you're like,
Yeah, I would go to look at him and I go, the fuck is that?
I will be right back.
but the fact that it's working makes you just like, wow, someone can do some strange and pull it off somehow.
Yep. You're welcome.
I go,
Frankenstein.
I don't know how you throw these shit together, but that shit is preem
Thank you.
somehow.
Thank you
No.
very much.
Disconnect it though, because it's useful. You need to scrap it for parts.
Can do.
What are these buildings around here, by the way?
Nice. Yeah, so you're able to dismantle that. So those are a bunch of old abandoned buildings.
Yeah. So just nondescript.
Yeah. Like the signs and stuff have fallen off them. Think of any post-apocalyptic game you've played, right? Most of them wind up having a lot of signs that are just missing now. They may be there in parts on the ground. They may have been lights that are now just totally out. You could go and investigate the rooms to maybe find out what used to be in the buildings, but there's no current signage or indicator of what they were.
Mm-hmm.
This is just, you have a feeling probably been abandoned for quite a while.
Yeah.
The fact
and the
that,
vehicles here are all like old rust buckets. At
oh yeah,
this point.
they're like the ones you barely got running. They're
Yeah.
garbage.
Mm-hmm.
This whole place has just
And-
been absolutely desolate and abandoned.
Yeah, and this is like wasteland desert, effectively.
Yeah.
That we're in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Zid think that there's any potential for scavenging if he has a quick look around?
Unknown. It doesn't look to be as probable as where you usually do scrapping. At the
Zid
same
would,
time, Zid likes to never give a chance up to scrap, given on his past of survival.
Yeah, well, as everyone's loading up, he'll have a quick casual, walk up. He'll sort of see if there's any, places to, pull himself up and have a bit of a look in one of the main entrances or something. Just, get a 5-second kind of, perusal, see if there might be anything in there worth taking. Is there any sort of check I need to make?
Yeah. Let's see. Something to deal with investigation sort of thing. Let's see, maybe perception. Conceal and perception probably first. Would make sense.
We'll go for perception.
Can I assist with that?
17.
He was going off on his own. You want to go on
then
your
you
own,
might-
you can as well. But yeah, he said he was just walking away from the group while you guys were getting everything in the van and
I'm
stripping the
busy
radio
helping with
down.
that.
Zid,
I'll stand watch while they're stripping with the shotgun.
there's barely any power in this building.
Mhm.
There's a little bit trickling in, like they left the power station on wherever it is. So you've seen this before, though. I mean, you've dealt with the reclaimers.
Yeah.
So you've seen abandoned places before, and you know how they can have ghosts. Not really ghosts, but, some small electrical current still going, or somehow still attached to some power grid.
And he's got a torch. He can shine it around even if there's not much light going on.
Problem is, you get a little indicator in your HUD. Uploading.
Oh. Uploading?
Something uploaded. You uploaded something.
Without me knowing? Internally I go, what the fuck?
Investigating something, Zid.
I sort of I pull myself up and sit on a piece of concrete, wall, and it's half collapsed, and I go, I would appreciate just a heads up if you're going to use my body.
Oh, I apologize. I was trying to find a potential, see if there's a valid host here so I could allow you to be free if you wished.
Sure, just let me know, yeah?
Certainly, Zid. There is a access point within this facility that is connected to the old net.
Okay. As the activity over at the cars is starting to wind down, Zid will be like, Chums, I might have a little side quest for us.
I'm coming.
I look at him and I go, no. You see, we are in a, what do you say? An effective area of shit. I don't think that you quite understand the gravity of the situation that you find yourself in. You are out in the middle of the Badlands. We have one vehicle, and there is a corporation looking for you who has access to unmanned vehicles with big guns. We should leave now.
What time is it?
It's evening. The lights are going down. Like, it's almost pitch black now. Like, There's just a bit of sun left, so there's a little bit of light, but not much.
He goes, I appreciate that the situation is, let's say, not prim. But, chums, it is getting dark, and I am getting tired. We could,
It's sleeping at the fan. It's big enough. I promise.
You just want to drive all night with the lights on?
Now, one thing comes to your mind, Joe, as you're thinking. Food and water. You're running low, and you just increased the people to feed. You probably need to get some resources. And you know, at least as you're aware, the nearest friendly camp that you're aware of is a good ways away.
So the last thing he goes, that bag doesn't have a lick of food in it, does it?
Nope.
Oh, it has.
Fuck you. And I go in the building.
I love it. Because it's so
Do I
true.
get to be known as Stay in the Van?
Now,
do you want
Joe,
to-
I will
I don't
give you
think-
another piece of info. You knowing how scavengers work, you would know you don't want to leave your van out there on the main road where you know people are coming through. So bringing it up to the alley or hiding it.
Right in front
Yeah.
of the building we were going in.
Okay. You want it there, or did you want to do it to the north in the alley behind the buildings? Like use the buildings for cover?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. I thought you might want
I'll
to.
tuck it in
put it up there.
the dark shadows.
Yeah. So I figured you'd probably have it something like that, where you can hide.
And I pull out if I don't have this, you can say it, but I would pull out like my like sandy colored blanket,
Mm-hmm.
like just to toss over the top of the vehicle.
Yeah. You probably have some sort of basic tarp or sheet.
Tarp. Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, just like the
technically
most
your
primitive form
tent.
of camouflage.
It could technically be your tent. And
Yeah.
you just have it double as a vehicle cover.
That works.
Because you do have tent and camping equipment. So within that, I could see your tent camping equipment being also your vehicle's bedding, essentially.
Now, last session we did establish that we did scavenge a bunch of water from
Mm-hmm.
the place. So is that gone? Or...
No, you do have a few containers of water.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much that was, or do we need it? Or we can pop that back up later.
I don't remember.
Okay. Then
Not off the top of my
what I'll
head.
do is
See if I can-
I'll go ahead and see if I can rewatch that episode this week, and I'll go ahead and jot it down, and we can do that.
But we definitely know we don't have any food.
Not much, anyways. There's a few snacks and whatever.
Yeah, snack bars. Yeah.
Whatever rations, meager rations were in your bag.
I haven't eaten in a month. I was in a cryopod.
Actually,
To be fair, we haven't either.
you notice
we
you're
were
not
also
as
in same
starved as you
cryopods.
should be from a month of starvation, so you know you got fed something. But
You got some kind of nutrition.
Great.
it's not
Whatever
holding.
exper-
It's not holding. You can feel that it's, it was quick in, quick out sort of thing.
Whatever experimental food goo they had going into us is not stretching far.
What was that pink substance they talked about in Fallout that they fed a certain school?
Strange meat.
All the nutrients you need.
Keep this in mind. The place where they made that stuff a couple of years ago that they called pink slime, the leanly textured beef product. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
made like 4 miles from where I live.
Yeah, they actually have a iteration on that in Fallout.
So I would sort of let them know. I would say in addition to the possibility there might be some old tinned food in here, I do sense that there is a connection to the old net.
Now, how many of you know anything about network and stuff, or the old net, or new net, or any of that? Like your character, would you feel would know that?
I
Maybe
would
a
probably
little
know
bit.
about it from news stories,
Yeah.
things, research that I would have done.
Actually, no. From your parents, you'd know more than that. What about
No,
your other
that's-
two?
I'd have no clue.
Okay. And Blackstone?
Yeah, I probably know a little bit.
Okay.
Not like not a huge amount, but enough like from tinkering and
Then you know that the old net used to exist, and something happened, it collapsed, there's this whole thing, and then it's all gone. People say just ignore it, it's terrible, stay away from the old net. Harlan.
Isn't that the one where the AIs ran crazy on?
Harlan, you know it's the one where the AIs ran crazy on. You know that Bartlos
I'm gonna say that flat out.
debt crashed it, and you know that it is a gold mine for stuff. However,
It's
abandoned
dangerous.
mines tend to have high risk, and that's exactly what the old net is.
Yeah, super lucrative, but
Dangerous as fuck.
dangerous as fuck. And you see a gleam in Sid's eyes when he says
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
You're gonna go play around with old abandoned AIs that are running rampant and crashed an entire network for their whims, playing God in their own worlds.
That
Oh,
sounds
so-
really stupid.
Balls. And I will just kind of lean towards you a little bit. If you don't come back, he's one less we have to feed.
I say,
Amen.
it is not the first thing on my list. Trying to get some foodies, but perhaps it might be worth poking my head in. I can jack right out again if I have to.
The information is worth it, in my opinion.
I am yet to see the connection, so let's see how bad it is before we go thinking about just how far the rabbit hole might go.
Yeah, if the connection is kicking sparks out and dripping something, you should probably not jack in that.
You got it right, man. See? And so yeah, I'll start looking around for things we might salvage first, before doing anything net oriented, because we need to eat before we yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Perception checks for that.
Yeah.
Before we even go into the building, I'm gonna stand at the doorway and look at everybody and just go shh. And I'm gonna listen to hear if I can hear anything moving the fuck around.
Oh, sneaky. All right, do it. Let's do a perception check from you for that. Why don't you go and explain to everyone what you're doing, since their characters might not know, but it's good for the viewers and stuff to know.
I have this character is set up with amplified hearing for the cyberware that he's got, just simply because I want to be able to stand around the corner and listen to what other people are talking about for news stories, things of that nature. So I'm basically just going to lean up against just by the door and listen to make sure we don't know what kind of crazy ass wild animals might be in there. More worried about things like, chuds, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers, things of that nature. We don't want these. That's a perception of 19.
Yep. Actually, you need to add 2 to that because you forgot to do your
Forgot to click a little bit. So
your
21.
situational modifier for hearing. You get a +2.
So just
so-
add the 2 to that, 21.
Yep. And so I'm just telling you, when you do the roll,
Yep.
there's a little circle that you can click to do a check mark if it is a hearing-based perception check.
Okay. I will try to remember that for next time.
If not,
Sweet.
it's all
Used to
good.
the system.
It's
Awesome, though. I love
That's
the
just
latest
why I'm
words.
telling you, because it is smooth. You just got to know that. And like they had that there because it's not an all perception. It's hearing perception checks. But yeah, you go quiet and the group quiets down for you and you listen. You hear some minor skittering of probably some bugs and maybe some smaller rodents, but nothing of any size.
Nothing bigger than a rodent in
What
there.
bothers you is just, though, how eerily quiet it is. Just how much of a ghost town it is. And you're just thinking, like, you're used to Night City, where even abandoned places in Night City have a bit of buzz of life about them. This is just dead emptiness.
How does anybody sleep with this much quiet?
I just kind of stare at him, blink and blink.
I sleep like a baby, man.
There's nothing in there. Maybe bugs and rats. At the
Sounds
most.
good. Sounds like my kind of place.
You
Now,
step in the Deathclaw, takes your face off. No.
Well, rip chapter 2. good game, everyone.
now actively searching for things that we could use, buy, sell,
Yep.
eat.
So go ahead and move yourselves. You have access to your tokens. You can move yourselves into whichever room you can or area you kind of want to check. So I'll kind of say like there's a 3 squared grid that you guys are checking on around where your token is, and just that way you guys can kind of pick, because you probably don't want to double, triple, quadruple up on all the rooms, right? You kind of want to spread out and try to search the place.
Yeah, I'll check this room.
Okay. And then, yeah, I didn't put any walls on this.
I tried to move my guy. He, oh, well, oh,
You moved
okay,
him.
he's just,
Way up over here now, it looks like.
yes.
Okay. Perfect, that's fine then. Just making sure that's where you meant. So yeah, go ahead and we'll just have you guys roll your perception checks to do an investigation in the area, see if anything looks like it could be useful. Noise. Harlan.
This is one of the things he's good at.
Right? You're like, you're in my wheelhouse, I got this.
After a month in a cryopod, though, he wants to talk to a therapist.
Alright, Zid. We got Blackstone and Ajo. What you got?
Can't hear you, Table Knights.
He's muted and
Sorry,
video.
I'm,
It's okay.
it's just base perception.
Yes. So on your character, you'll see awareness skills, perception. Oh, nice. You have a base 10. Yeah, if you click that, it'll pop up with a little screen, and you can just hit confirm. And just log
Got
data.
a lot of 16s.
Wham! So, every 16 allows you to have 2 days of food. So mark that down for yourselves. So you have 2 days of rations for the group. Since you all get a 16 plus. 22. You actually find an extra... Something's off in the room. So I need you to do a conceal reveal check. Because you're basically doing a more deep investigation, trying to see if you can figure out what's off in the room.
That I'm not so good at.
You can also call for help, potentially, but yeah.
Potentially.
I'm gonna look first, yeah.
Something just seemed like maybe there's something else here, but you're not able to pinpoint or find anything valiant.
Who's closest to me?
You saw
Probably
Adjo go and Blackstone go further north from you, and you saw Zid stay in the room where you guys first entered.
Well, I'm gonna stick my head into the room where Zid's at, because I can literally just go right here and go, hey, come look at this.
Sure, I found some food for us. What have you got?
I've got 2 great big arm loads of of rations going. Yeah, there's lots of tins in here. Something's wrong in here.
Alright, conceal reveal.
Yep.
Nice.
That's a 32, DM.
That might be the record.
Yeah. Yeah. That's absurd. They don't
Keep
have.
in mind,
Okay,
my
Godlike.
conceal reveal is 13.
they don't have a 32 on the list of how good things are. It stops in the 20s.
Yeah, I was
Hey,
like,
look.
it's legendary.
I found this key in this rat corpse.
Basically, yeah.
Alright, DM, so what do I see?
You notice that, based on your background, this room was used by someone. Hence why there's a little burning barrel there and some beds. And you're like, oh, yeah, you know, usually where you sleep, you keep a hidden stash. You go poking around the room, and you notice your good friend Harlan is just leaning against the wall over here.
Yep.
And you're like, excuse me. And you notice right under his feet, there's a trapdoor that leads into a small little room with a bunch of goodies.
So, yeah, I'm like, hey man, can you just step 5 feet to the left? Just for a minute.
I'm gonna step 5 feet to the right just because I'm an asshole.
And then,
Oh, you meant your left. I'm sorry.
He opens this trapdoor and like nails your shins a little bit because you didn't step to the left.
Mother.
I said left.
Yeah, but you didn't say your left or my left.
Said, I think you're right that you found something. Shine the torch down.
You see a rickety ladder down into this little. It's not like a vault or anything big like that, right? It's literally a shoveled out hole in the ground
Yeah.
with some makeshift shelves that have been jammed into the dirt so that they can
So
have
he
a
knows
stash
better
of
than
stuff.
to put his whole weight on a rickety ladder, so he'll just lower himself down into the hole.
Yeah. So I need you to roll 3d6, one at a time, d6, d6, d6.
Okay.
And I'm using some optional rules from our Telsorian games called salvaging, or in this case, we'll call it scavenging.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So in this place, you find that they have some armor and some general gear. So general gear I'm going to count since food and water matter in this, and it typically doesn't. I think it's in here, if you guys are good with it, to me makes sense. Food, water, and armor.
Okay. Sounds good.
General gear is 3 and 4. And that kind of seems like food and water would be easiest under general gear, since that's where they put the kibble.
I like it.
So I think that fits. And then for armor, let's see, what's some armor here?
It's gonna give us something we need a power core for.
Roll 2d6.
2d6 together or separate?
Two different 2d6s. This is how many days of food and then how many days of water you're able to find here. So 7 days of food, 9 days of water. So there's quite a bit of bottles of water here.
Nice rolls.
So it'll be as keep us on the road without having to stop for
Yeah.
quite a while.
So basically they have like a few things of armor tossed in the corner, and then just like on the shelves there's like a whole bunch of water bottles and cans of food, MREs, stuff like that.
It looks like this is the jackpot, man, at least for now.
You rolled absurd.
And so, yeah, I will stay down here and I will pass up, because I'm quite tall.
Yep.
I'll pass up things to him and he can, you know.
Adjo, Blackstone, you start hearing a clink, thum, thum, clink, thum, thum. Just repeatedly this like noises coming from, not loud, but coming from the room that Zid and, no, not Zid, the one that Harlan was in.
I'm just outside the door.
Yes. So you step in, you see Harlan by this hole in the ground keep making this big pile of cans and water bottles.
Nice find.
I knew there was something missing here, but I didn't find it. He's in the hole.
Nice find, Zid.
Yeah, man.
This takes care of our food and water problem.
For a while.
There is some another sort of thing comes out, but it's not food or water. This
No, it's armor.
yeah. 1d7.
Ooh. So the first set of armor that you pick up is a flak body and helmet. Basic armor. It's SP 15, but it gives less ref, so it's decent armor, but it does have that negative. The second set you get is a metal gear, the heaviest, most powerful armor. It gives you -4 ref, dex, and move, but it gives you SP 18. It's basically
Shit.
heavy armor. It looks
Yeah,
like they scavenged this from some corpo. And you notice it has the Life Tech logo stamped on it.
All right. Well, before that comes up, you hear some huffing and puffing, and you hear a oof as the metal falls on Zid's foot. It doesn't do any damage, and then he's sort of like, there might need to be 2 of you up there, man. And like you'll hear him heaving, and this big piece of metal comes out of the hole, and you see like it's vaguely body shaped, and yeah, you can grab it and pull it out, and that's what you see.
So just to be clear, flak armor costs 500. Metal gear costs 5,000.
I was gonna say this sounds like power armor.
Kind of. It's not powered
me to
like
make-
that, but
You want me to make a body check to lift it up out of the hole from how him pushing it up, or not?
oh no, you can help him with that. It's not to that degree, but yeah, no, it's
Okay,
hefty.
just making sure.
Yeah. No. The other one was more, you weren't expecting it, so it's taken off guard, right? You pick up a small bag, you're like, oh, it's not very big. So this one you see is a mass chunk of metal armor, and you're like, oh boy.
Who, me?
No, Harlan is there, and
Oh, okay.
and then you see it as Harlan brings this huge metal armor up.
My eyes light up.
It's basically, if you think like a Cyberpunk full plate mail, right? So it's like
Yeah.
the equivalent of like knight's armor made in modern times. It's metal protective plates and everything, so it's not
Don't know
quite
if
power
we can
armor,
find
but
use
it's
for that, man. But we might be able to get a good price for it if we can't.
There's use for everything.
He says there are still some food and water, so any more help is good. And he'll grab the rest and pull it out bit by
I'm
bit.
gonna. Am I able to lift?
yeah,
the-
yeah.
the
No, you can
power?
you
Okay,
can help.
alright.
Like any
Yeah,
of
I'm
you
just-
guys
I'm
can help.
gonna-
I'm good with that.
I'm gonna take that to the stash.
Back
Yes.
to the van, back to the
Mhm.
stash. And
Yeah.
what? You said that there was a connection to the old net here. Are you really gonna dip into that?
He goes, yeah, yeah, man.
Go find the connection point. Fucking crazy bastard.
He pulls himself out and he dusts himself off. You see like big layer of dust all over him that's been just accumulated on all of these crates and stuff. Is covered in dirt, and he just shrugs. Layer of dirt falls off his shoulder, and then he looks around. So you said that there was some a sign on my UI.
You didn't see it on your UI yet. You saw the one that you saw was basically your
HUD.
internal thing saying that you uploaded. So you pop your virtual reality goggles on, and then you can start seeing the net.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So I'll start to look around with that. Was there anyone else that had high enough roll for something? There was a 19 from Harlan and it was 22. Yep. So
Yeah.
that's all right.
yeah, so you guys got the good stuff. It's pretty good. That gives you something you can trade with.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
Depends. I mean, I'm pretty sure we don't have enough fuel to make it all the way to Night City.
No,
We're definitely going to have to refuel at some point.
but Joe
Looking-
still has like a half tank or so. He can go a ways before he has to worry about that.
I can get us to a friendly camp.
Well, yeah, but it's good to have things to trade at said friendly camp if we want good stuff.
Joe, you looking at this
Something to
armor, you know that you could probably sell that there. They can have deals with corpos and stuff to offload things like that.
So we can get that traded. They'll take it.
Because I know for my fact I've worn enough Life Tech gear in my lifetime already that I'm not putting that on. It's not going to happen.
No. So Zid'll start like wandering down the corridor and seeing what
Follow
he
and
can
cover.
see.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to see that there's signs of the net around, kind of like ghost aspects. And eventually you're able to find the actual access node where you'd be able to jack in.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I can find if there's any of these categories that actually has actually food in it. But I'm not seeing any.
Okay.
So if I seem like I'm distracted, that's what I was trying to find.
Yeah. That's okay.
But yeah,
Oh, good.
so you're
So
gonna...
are we done looking around? Can we get moving? Because this being in one place bothers me.
Give me 5 minutes, man, and then we can look to head out.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
5
tight
minutes.
five.
Yeah, 5 minutes for a net runner is nothing.
And
Or
I get
it's
into
net
the
runner,
van and
excuse me.
I get into the van and I start doing all my my flight checks.
Yep.
Hey, you got
I mean-
some way you want me to strap this armor down back here? We don't want to become a missile if you have to jam the brakes, right?
It's a compartment underneath the floorboard.
So
You don't see...
So-
Yeah, that's actually the thing, Harlan. You don't see anything below the floorboard. Go ahead and roll a conceal reveal.
you told me it was there. Any kind of a benefit for that?
Yeah. It drops the DC base. Their DV is what they call it, but difficulty for you a little bit.
Oh, nice.
About as good as I can get.
So it takes you a little while, but you're able to find it. Like, it was well hidden. There's a hidden compartment here. You slide it
figured
open,
it's-
and
It's a no. It's a
fairly
nomad
spacious.
vehicle.
Yeah.
They're gonna have some place to hide stuff. They have to.
not all of them, but his has a very nice compartment for stashing goods.
Nice.
So you actually notice the windows look a little different than most windows. There's some odd thing at the back of his van, and there's a fairly decent sized compartment that you found there.
Stash everything in there that we need to. Put all the food and water to where it's basically out of sight. We don't want anybody trying to steal it from us if need be. I get the feeling if they're going to steal anything, they're going to try to steal the van itself.
Probably. You know that food and water's kind of scarce for those who are fleeing your same area. And you know that probably soon some of them are going to be getting here and want to start acquiring goods themselves.
Well, that's
So, yeah.
why we're not scavenging the whole place. We're going to fucking grab what we need to, get this net done, and get the hell out of here.
So literally only reason you found it was because he told you. The DV is 17.
I knew it was there, therefore I kept looking till I found it.
Basically. I just want to double check. That's funny. That's awesome.
Alright,
Alright.
so
So,
this net infrastructure.
yep, I'm about to generate one.
Is it sparking and stuff on the outside? Does it look?
It doesn't
secure?
look that bad, but it doesn't look very nice either. It definitely shows age.
Hey, Blackstone,
Yeah, man.
you keep an eye on that breaker over there.
I got it.
So
You
this
just
is
say the word if I need to jack out. Yeah, man. Like,
Yep.
okay.
so I am going to generate it right now.
Cool.
What's happening? I don't know.
Huh.
Oh, interesting.
This way goes. Everyone goes. Interesting. Is that good? Is that bad? Is that... Oh my god.
It's when the game master rolls dice and then doesn't explain anything is the thing that's the worst.
Oh yeah.
I never explain things though.
That's it.
I explain everything to myself.
Exactly. So I need to go here. Give me a moment. I have to do something slightly different to make sure we get where we need to.
All good.
Because we found that out. Alright, so then I can hit this and... Oh yeah, I love it. Oh no, why didn't those work? That should have worked. Why didn't it work?
Okay.
Pourquoi?
I'm trying to figure out why these didn't work. Oh, I know why. I clicked the wrong one. Give me a moment.
How many times I got myself in trouble going K like that when I was working in South Texas? Because I don't speak any Spanish. I understand enough Spanish to listen. I can't speak it.
I clicked the wrong folder. I had to do some changes that I forgot I had to do. And so there is a duplicate folder. So that's what happened. Okay, we're good now. However, you probably can't see anything.
No, that's alright, but I can see it on the stream.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to see it yet.
I mean, I
You're
can
not there
not look
yet.
at the stream.
Well, we need to figure out how to get this to work anyways, so... You shouldn't be able to see much yet.
No,
Correct, but you should see your character.
I do.
Perfect. And so now, if we give you a light vision of, we'll say, 20 feet. Yeah, there we go. So you can see a little ways in front of you.
I like it.
So,
Good job.
you jack in on the first floor, there is a wisp.
Alright.
And you know what that means.
Sure.
From what I remember, it means lots of sliding.
Yeah.
It's up to him if he wants to slide or not. The nice thing is, I can put a wisp on top of it, and I now have a wisp that I can click and do what we need to do. Wisp is an anti-personnel program. So,
My first.
jack into that floor. Your first what?
Am I supposed to be able to see it?
Are you guys not able to see it?
I only see black.
Oh, okay, so you don't have shared fusion with him.
I wanna. I have to.
I thought it was
I have
allowed
to deal with
allies.
the wisp first. So yes, let's slide.
Matt, you're better at this program than me. So, question for you: is there a way that I can have them see what your character sees without having to give them full control of your character?
No.
Okay,
Not
so
that I know of.
I just have to give them control of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't mess with Matt's character.
Yeah,
Just so we can
let's
watch.
just be trustworthy.
Right?
Uh,
Where is per?
all of a sudden, like, I have 800 IP to spend, and I'm like, what the hell? I'll take it.
Actually, I need to do this.
It's just set
And
ownership and
we can do
yeah, I have to-
is configure ownership. All players are owners. Oh, I wonder. Configure ownership. Your owner. If I do this, observer.
Observer might work? Yeah. I haven't tried that.
Can you guys see what he sees or not?
May have to reload.
I can't.
Can. Excellent.
No, I can't.
Can't. Okay, I thought you said can.
Let me reload. Hang on.
I mean, can is part of can't, so technically I did in fact say I can.
I don't
I
know if
see
it'll
it.
work,
Then
but I
I
was
added
hoping
a
it
T.
would.
I see it now.
You do?
Yeah, I reloaded.
Okay. So what I can do is this. And that gets us over there where you guys are all out. And then I can just come back in here and activate. And then everyone should be able to see what Matt
Yep.
sees.
You can see it now.
Sweet.
Good job. We're getting there.
I'm learning. And I'm glad.
are.
I'm trying to
Doing
get
well.
things on this.
Alright.
Alright, so what does Zid want to do with this wisp?
Yeah.
Jackson
well,
comes face to face with a wisp.
yeah, straight away. Well, he'll definitely. His reflex is to slide, and then like if we get away, we can do a pathfinder then.
Yep.
But he sees a wisp straight away. He will roll a 1 because that's what I do.
So a slide, and it's been a while since we did this. A slide goes against. I'm trying to remember if it's a DV or a.
I don't know.
I think it's a roll.
And I have it here. I was pretty sure it's a roll, and I'm just trying to recall. I wasn't quite ready for this, and I should have been.
It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, like this is the thing. We're testing it out.
It's
Testing
been a
this
while
nerd
since
out.
I've done it. so.
He'll jack out if he has to.
All right, net running. You are doing a slide. Right? Yeah, here we go. So a slide. Roll against program's perception. So you roll your interface, and it goes against the program's perception. So I thought it was that, but it's always good to make sure. So it will try to
Oh,
see
yeah.
you.
Oh yeah, it sees me
Yeah.
like big warning light.
Oh, wow.
So then it goes to attack.
Of course.
So
Hey, it's not a hellhound. It's not going to light you on fire. You'll be all right.
now, attack is where is it? There we go. Your it's going to be its attack versus your defense or interface skill. So you should be able to have a block option there.
A
And
block
why did the music stop?
Don't know. I have a defense.
It didn't stop on my end.
No?
Oh
Okay.
wait, no.
No,
I
I can
just
hear
came
it.
back.
Yeah, I can hear it too.
Yeah, it's just a lower track, and then it's building.
Okay.
I have a defense button.
Okay. Yeah, so you're gonna do defense. It's doing attack and roll off.
Okay, here we go.
Ah, it missed. I believe that's what it gets for an option. It tries to hit you and fails. So now it's your turn.
Yep. Wisps aren't particularly strong, but we're gonna continue to slide. Oh yeah, that's more like it.
It's gonna try to see you.
Go.
It's gonna try.
Okay.
So you make it to the next zone.
Okay. Yeah. So before I go anywhere, I want to do a Pathfinder.
Okay, so you'd be on that point. So go ahead and roll
'Cause
Pathfinder.
Yeah, I want to see just how deep this rabbit hole goes before we go too crazy.
13. So I need to pick the DV on that. I believe that will not. Okay, yeah, there is a password in front of you.
Okay.
And so it requires you to bypass the password before you can go, because
Before
if
I
I
can
remember
pathfind.
correctly, pathfinding will get you to the next password. Once you break the password, you can go through. I just remembered that. So if you want to
Alrighty.
do that in reverse order,
Sure.
you would have basically moved to the next floor and seen it's a password. If I do pathfinding, I'm going to be blocked. So you can do
Alright, yeah.
that in reverse order.
that's-
We'll keep your pathfinder roll. We'll then
And it's
just
back
check
door, right, for password? Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to res worm, and we are going to get that.
Now, if you guys want to be doing anything while he is, typically when this is being done in combat, he's allowed a certain number of actions in the net per turn.
It's 3 actions per turn, yeah.
It's based on your thing, but yeah,
Well,
it's for you right now.
I'm failing forward, DM. So you know,
Oof.
yeah.
So you are
I
stuck
think,
on that floor.
Yeah, I think I will just jack out. Not knowing what's beyond. I mean, a password can't help me. It can't hurt me, right?
No,
So-
password can't hurt you. It's just the longer you sit here, the more you risk the wisp detecting you or other things detecting you, or activating systems that are finding you,
Yeah.
or your
well,
party
it's-
getting tired of sitting and waiting.
Yeah, it's no longer my turn because I've done the 3 actions. So if anyone wants to do something, they can. I might stay here one more round, effectively, just to see if I can get through, and then we'll call it there, depending on how far I get.
Is there anything I can do to like change like from electronic security tech?
No, you can't do anything from your end on his. That's part of why netrunners are unique, is that they're the only ones who can mess with this stuff.
Okay.
One of the examples given is if you come up to a door, right? A security door. Big vault security door.
Hey, Mix
can
Nuts,
get in
that is very loud. The
Yeah.
cat is
Yeah, I know. I'm going to
Basically-
feed him right now.
deafening.
Oh man.
If you get to a security door, you could get through it with your electronic security tech eventually.
Okay.
It would take you 5 to 10 minutes of sitting there to try to get in.
Okay.
Where a netrunner can be like, okay, we're in. And so that's their value. That is why that is a role, because it is a very special niche.
The odd thing is that like the 5 to 10 minutes it would take me to do that. This whatever we just went through would be like a few seconds for him.
Oh yeah, no, this whole thing has been 3 seconds so far.
Yeah.
So this next round is going to be another 3 seconds. So it's going to be 6 seconds.
So the next
door.
backdoor roll is 16.
That gets you through that. So then you can either move
I'll do the
forward,
13.
or you can do a Pathfinder.
Yeah, which was 13. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about the cat, guys.
Oh, yeah, you're okay.
I have a similarly mouthy cat.
I mean, I'm only about 20 minutes late on feeding him, so I'm surprised he wasn't in here 15 minutes ago.
So you are able to see that going forward, there's a control node to something, a saber tooth, a file, and a password.
Control, a saber tooth, a file, and a password.
Yes.
I'll go to the control.
Okay. That's the next floor, which is why I gave it to you in that order. There's a control node.
Alright.
The control node has a number of systems connected to it. Lights, security, fire suppression.
Alright, so it's basic everyday stuff. Yep.
So you could basically, give the group a shower of really nasty,
I
accurate
don't
water.
have any reason to do that.
I'm in the van.
All I want to do is in here is poke into security to make sure that no alarms, no silent alarms have been tripped when we got here, like in the duration that we've been here.
Okay, roll a investigation.
Investigation, which is
Second seal review or perception.
Interface. For him, it's interface because he's in the net.
oh, interface. Yeah. So just a straight
Net-based
interface.
perception, pathfinding work.
Okay, I'll roll another pathfinder. 1 sec.
It's close.
Oh, Jesus. Alright, I have no idea.
Yep. Net fun.
Fantastic. Well, considering my rolls, which Zid would recognize that he's tired, right? So
Yeah.
I think, this
He
is
knows
all
that there's a
framed
saber
by-
tooth and a file. The files are what Zid lives for, I will say.
It is, yeah. But
Does he
like,
want to
Zid
risk
is-
it or not? Sabretooth stands behind Zid and a file.
Let's see if we can slide past the saber-tooth. And if we can, we go for the file, and if it sees us, then we get out, I think. Although, if a saber-tooth sees me, it's gonna flag, right?
If a Sabretooth sees you, it will try to hunt you, yeah, and attack.
And we'll leave,
So everyone's clear.
oh no, because it's the eraser that gets me out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sabretooth
Let's give it a go.
is an anti-program application. It deals damage to programs. And dereses the program. It destroys it.
Okay.
So it's not going to be attacking you. It's going to go for your programs and eliminate everything on your cyber deck and destroy it permanently.
Yay.
So you're not as in threat, but your programs are with the Sabretooth. So it's greater and less risk than the anti-personnel. Like, that's the Sabretooth's specialty, is if it does enough damage to derez it, it will destroy the program. But go ahead and try your slide.
I'll try a slide. Said that I would. Let's go.
Lock it up.
It's an 11. Nice.
Well, sometimes you're not the only one who rolls ones.
Yeah. All right. Very good. So the saber-tooth does not detect me,
Correct.
and I'll have a look at that file.
Okay. Are you familiar with how to do
You're
that?
right there. You're right there. You look. You're grimacing like crazy.
It's the cat.
No, it's my fucking feet.
Oh.
Psoriasis.
Oof.
Oh, it's not.
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, it's driving me nuts right now. Sorry.
If you need to step away and grab something for it, we get it.
No, it's
Okay.
good.
We're finishing up with the net run right now,
Yep.
so
So you would want to do ID, which is where you ID a file. You roll and you see if you can figure out what the file is, what its worth is, stuff like that.
okay. And I don't have anything bonus here. I will add a luck. Let's go. 13.
And that actually is enough. So you're able to determine there is a file. Now I'm trying to figure out where they say how to determine what it's worth. But I'm not seeing that. It says determine what it's worth. First, the file's DV. The file has a DV on it, but I'm not seeing where it says what value that is. So do me a favor and jot down in your notes or something.
Yeah, I got it.
Write down that you have a file, a DV8 file.
BV8. Alright, gotcha. And I've got a 13 ID.
So that means you beat it, and that's why I said you have a DV8 file, because now you know what it is. You've accomplished that. You identified it, you acquired it, you now have downloaded that file. That's DV8. I just need to do that, and then you can ping me this week and just remind me if you don't mind, just in case I don't tell you. But yeah, now you can safely jack out, and you have that file.
Check out, and I look at Blackstone and I go, "Oh, good, Shum."
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you were in there for like 20 seconds. Barely had time to breathe.
Good, I turned the fire suppression on, but you know, we need to get out of here.
Yeah, I don't need a shower.
Let's go, man.
Okay.
Yeah, he was only in there for about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Not even.
All right. I'll
20 seconds
my
is
way.
including the putting the plug in and putting it away.
back towards the car, and I go, I think we're all done here.
Joe, you
Gosh,
notice
you're slow driving and you're slow on the board too. And he laughs at that and he goes, "Get in the car."
So yeah, you see you now have your cars brimming with quite a large supply of food and a good supply of water. You're like, hey, we could almost make it back to Night City on this. We at least have enough to get to the camp and do some trading, if nothing else.
And I pull us out.
And there you go.
I'm keeping my headlights low.
As you know there is a worse road, but less traveled, to the northwest of the city. It's a minor highway back road sort of thing, right? So you know that most of the others aren't familiar with the back roads, and so you know you could technically choose to go that route if you wanted.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So yeah, you exit on basically the north side there, and you can travel on. See, now that I know that. You all are owner on that one, but since it's a container, apparently it doesn't count. Interesting.
Yeah. Won't let me move the container.
It's okay. Like, the reason I made it a container was because then you guys can actually put things in the van that you want in the van. And they didn't have any other actor that would work for that. And so it works. Now, what is your plan? This is to Adjo as he's driving. Do you want to navigate where you're at? You want to just circle around and get on 84 and then bend back to 15? Do you want to go all the way over to Boise and take a really big detour? What's your plan?
So from what I'm seeing, would it be possible for me to shortcut through off of the 86 onto 80?
You potentially could. You know, doing off-road like that too much is increased risk of getting lost and that it's not drivable terrain. So you can, but there is risks.
Then I'd probably just go down 84 and go through Salt Lake.
Okay.
It seems to be the fastest, safest route.
So get back onto 84 over here because you went through kind of a side route. And then you start driving back down 84. Okay. You know that if you go that route, you will go through Salt Lake City, which is technically a feudal city now. And so it's up to you if you want to go through it, you want to try to drive around it.
Contextually, what does that mean?
That's a good question. All I know is it's a neo-feudal city. I'm trying to remember exactly what that entailed.
I don't understand. I mean, I understand what that literally
Yeah.
means. I don't understand what the context of that is to my character. Is that a good thing, a bad thing?
Well, I want to see exactly how they describe them. Because, like I said, I'm still new to this sort of stuff too. Let's see. All right, neo-feudalism is a city that's come down to being one industry town, run by a very small group of corporations, and is the opposite of a new city.
So it's entrenched.
Yeah, so it's hierarchical, entrenched. If you don't follow their ways, then you're kind of an outcast. So yeah, it basically is a revitalization of basically a city mixed with a corpo and feudal system.
So, I mean, it sounds like something that we could travel through.
Through, but not into. You don't want to go. You don't want to stay there.
It would be tricky to navigate politically and such. So if you're not one of the city nobles, then you're basically scum. Unless you have something they want, and then they still might think you're scum and just take it off you.
Okay, so yeah, I'm basically just gonna pass through.
Okay. So this is actually a good entry
to the
on
outskirts, maybe.
Let me send this to you guys.
If
So
we
you
can
can
keep
look
to
at
the
it.
outskirts and sort of, that would probably be the best. It's probably where the scum live, and they're not gonna stop us. Probably it's gonna be.
I'm not
nobles.
gonna drive through the city proper. There's plenty of roads in cities. I'm gonna take the least obtrusive one.
Okay, so you want to get to the far side of Salt Lake City and then continue on 15?
Yeah.
Okay. So my guess is you'll probably try to bypass it at a time when it's less of a problem, so not light out and visible. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, did you want to take 15 or 80, you said?
80.
80, okay.
Yeah, if we take 80, we can definitely go kind of through the outskirts.
Yeah, because if we take 15, we're going to end up going fucking through the LA Metroplex, and no thank you.
What's wrong
There's a
with
lot more
that?
cities across 80, but like that's also probably there's a lot more nomad gangs on the outsides of those cities.
Yeah. There's fewer nomad gangs probably with the neo-feudal cities. But there still are some. The new cities are where most of the nomads would get their business from, and bringing stuff between the new cities. So, all right, so you guys make it there. On your way there, so basically we're doing a little, in the movies where they have that whole, nice scene where they kind of show time passing as you go,
Yep,
right?
speed up.
Yep. Montage sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys are going, a number of times you do see that there is a higher population of vehicles on 15. So when you merge from 84 onto, I was going to say 48. I'm very good at numbers all the time. When you merge from 84 onto 15, you do notice there is a uptake of old vehicles, and a lot of them are not moving very slow. Some recklessly fast, others as fast as they can safely go. But there's definitely an influx coming down from Idaho Falls on that route. Now, the fact that you're coming 84 shows that you're not with the others necessarily, so they don't pay you as much heed.
Okay.
You do seem like you have some that look at you suspiciously since you have a nice vehicle and are considering should they try something. But you do notice there are fewer vehicles than you had seen before, so either they've broken down, they've got ambushed, you don't know. But
ran out of food.
And that's the thing, you don't know.
Yeah, as I'm driving through them, I look to the guys and I'm like, irons up just in case.
Now, you do have the ability, also you modified your vehicle, so you can actually roll down the back windows. So on newer minivans, instead of the windows popping out sideways, which they're not open very far and it's kind of weird, they actually have some that go down. So you've modified it on yours so all the windows can independently go down. It just makes sense for a Nomad being able to do stuff like that.
Got it.
So you have the, lovely assault suicide doors or sliding doors, right?
Well, I'm gonna keep the glass up until
windows.
like they
Right.
ask to have it down to shoot, because
Yep.
it's bulletproof glass. I'm just telling them to get their irons out in case we are.
I was trying to make sure we set the parameters ahead of time of how the vehicle works. So people are like, you can't shoot out windows of minivans that go like that. It's like, no, you can't. This isn't that.
Well, I mean, you can. The window's not going to survive it.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are able to make it. You choose to camp, and so on your food supplies, who's tracking that, by the way? Is everyone tracking it, or you guys want to have someone be elected as the tracker?
We each have two, right?
You each
Yeah.
had two, and then there was an additional.
And then we found 7 days of food and 9 days of water.
Correct.
And I found 6 for my roll. Everybody else got 2. I got 6, I thought it was, because I had that much higher of a roll for the initial search. And then there was the extra
so
stats.
Yeah, we all got
In
16
total-
except him. He got 22.
in total we have 14 rations.
Yeah, days of rations. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm keeping notes anyway. I'm happy to do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
I just wanted to figure out who I should address when we're talking about supply stuff like that, so that we can, instead of bouncing all over, we can have a focus point.
I will put it in a special place.
Okay. We can easily add that to notes if you want, or if you just want to keep it on your own sheet, or
Yeah.
somewhere there, it's fine. It's up to you.
I trust Matt.
Actually, Matt, now that I think about it, I should be smart with this. Let me do this to make it easier for you. Because I can be smart sometimes.
Don't see that.
Yeah, I'll just leave it like that for now. Hey, look. In Agil's van, there's now food.
Hooray!
The price value's wrong. Don't worry about that. It's just a placeholder. And then we have water. And so you can just upload those with the quantities. If it won't let you, let me know and I'll just update them. Then we should be able to...
Yeah, I don't...
Does it not let you update it?
No.
Okay. That's what I was starting to wonder that. I'll upgrade your permissions so you can. But for now, how many days did we say? You
14.
calculated?
14 and 9.
food. Yeah.
14 food, 9
But
water.
we did have...
There was that
9
other water.
was extra. So
Yeah.
I reckon we have 14 of both, just to make it simple.
You want to do that?
Because we did have water from before. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a few days of water at least.
yeah
Okay.
I reckon that.
If you want to do that, we can just go that with fine.
Yeah, let's do
And
it.
so, there's 4 of you, so that's going to drop that by 4.
Mhm.
So we'll put that at 10 each. And now we have a nice, easy way to keep track.
Nice. Good.
Eggs.
Yeah. And it should link back to your van on any screen. It does. Perfect. Okay, we're good now. Yay! Solving problems, fixing things. And so you guys get to this side of Salt Lake. You do see it. The evening, you guys camp on the north side of the city and wait for nightfall to go around the city. Because you don't want to, draw attention to yourselves, you said. And as you're using your binoculars to kind of take tabs on things, you do see some people getting into the city, some having to camp on the outside, some being accosted. You can tell it's very much a structured corpo city of some sort. Night falls, and you're able to drive around the city. The reason I'm not having you do a roll for that is because you have a crazy nomad with you, and that's their specialty. Especially when his focus is smuggling. So, instead of nickel and diming rolls...
I wouldn't say I'm crazy.
No.
I'm just very focused on
Yes.
one particular goal.
Yes.
Moves goods.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
your
yes.
focus, you said, was smuggling. So it would make sense kind of how to move about and when to move about to get by on things.
Yes.
And so after that time period, you find yourselves probably about here that night. And you can set up camp if you want or continue on. You do get a message on your radio that the nomads set up a camp out here in the wasteland, if I can get it to ping, but it's not wanting to ping for me. Yay. It used to do it, but for some reason it's decided it doesn't want to listen today. But can you see where my mouse pointer is? To the southwest of the van?
Yes.
So you hear a message that there is a camp there.
I would radio
Of your friends.
I would radio back in and ask for some codes just to make sure.
Yeah.
That...
It's on your tribe's private channel.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah.
So it's affiliated with your
look back
greater
at the...
tribe. It may not be your clan within the tribe, but it is your tribe. So
Okay.
just a quick rundown for those who might not know. The structure of the nomads is they have actual clans or tribes, right, that are the main structure of the family unit, which is what the Aldecados are. There's subunits within that are basically clans or families, subset, that are the smaller roving groups that they're bands of that you see in 2077. That Aldecado group is a family or clan unit. It's a smaller one. So I think it went family, clan, nation, something like that. I'm trying to remember exactly. But so this is not your immediate group. You're not your family, Adoj. This is your clan, though. This is your, greater family. Not your small group, but they're still associated with you guys. It's your own private channel. So even if you go across the country, if you have to deal with other nomads, you will, as long as you're not enemies. Because not all the nomads get along with all the nomads. There are the nomad nations. They don't all get along. There are some conflicts. A good example of that is the snakes and aldecados. They have different philosophies. They don't get along all the time. They butt heads.
They're just silly fellas.
Right? And so, yeah, they're affiliated with you, so you'd at least have good rapport with them, being from the same overarching, group of nomads.
Yeah. So I would say to the group, get ready for some hospitality. We're gonna actually have a bed tonight.
Oh, that sounds good. I'm super tired from driving.
And I pull us in.
Okay, so it is going to take you a while to get there. Give me a moment here. I'm trying to get a quick image for this pulled together so we can see it on the map. I was like, I need to add this to the map so you guys can see. It would make sense. Why do things that make sense? Type token. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So now I can do this. Are you going to let me do it? Yay, there we go.
Yep.
Hey, look, you can now see a nomad camp.
Yay.
Nice.
And so you guys head that way. Now, that is off the road, which they do that so if there happens to be any corpo transports, they're less likely to find you, right? That's why they do it off the beaten path. It's harder on the vehicle, but then you can have a easier time when you get there. So you guys are able to get there and join the festivities. Let's see. Yeah. Came in that way, so you'd be there. Oops. Where's you? There you is. So you guys pull into the camp and you see that they're getting all bunked down for the night. And
In the darkness.
well, yeah, the sun's going down. It's almost
No,
like-
I meant because we can't see anything. Or I can't.
I'm reloading.
Oh,
I'll
I
let you
bet you it didn't do the global illumination again. I almost bet you
It's
that's
fine.
what it is.
I'm checking. Yeah, it doesn't do it for me yet.
I'm highly betting that's what it is, because it doesn't show me that global illumination issue until I click on someone. And I told it to default to that. But why would it listen? Alright, you should be good now.
Yep.
It's like magic. When you got it right, it works. So yeah, you see they actually have a few RVs. They have a number of trucks and cars and quite a few tents. They have a radio tower they set up in the middle to be able to have a sniper up there to keep guard, but also to be able to communicate in the area. That's how they can actually have a range more than, a mile. So this is what you drive into. Of course.
Do I know anyone personally here, or
No. This is just they could potentially relay you onto the location of those you would actually know. But these guys are roughly affiliated with your group, sort of thing, right? They're part of the same nation, not the same family.
Got it.
I don't
Either
know if
way.
you picked which family you're a part of or which nation you're a part of, but so it'd be like saying you're part of the Aldecaldo nation. Well, these would be also
Well, my
Aldecados.
nomad's family size is like 36 specifically.
Yeah, that's your
didn't-
family unit, not your nation.
Okay. I don't remember us picking
No.
a nation.
That's what I was saying. I didn't think we picked a nation for you. You can look through the nomad nations and pick one later. It doesn't have to be right now, but this
Okay.
is part of that nation, not part of the family. Your family is 38. That is your closer knit group. Based on where you were, do you have the stream up?
What?
Do you have the stream up? I was going to talk to you through something, but I didn't want to
Like you're-
pull everyone over.
Oh, I'm on the nomad camp. Are you talking about the?
Oh, no, I meant the Twitch stream of mine. I was going to quickly show you something
Yeah,
on
I-
there without pulling everyone over, if it made it easier, that's all. Because I know if
Yeah,
I
go
pull
ahead.
you guys over, it's going to make you all reload. Try not to do that. So I was figuring, based on the fact that you had relations with your love interests from Night City, you're probably more doing trades and stuff more in this area of the world.
Okay.
Since you want to
I
kind
mean,
of
that makes sense.
be closer to your, your interests.
Yeah.
So your family is probably camped somewhere over here. They tend to do sometimes private, you run missions by yourself at times, but sometimes they do larger convoys between these bigger cities. And so they basically are known for driving and camping up and down the west coast here. From LA
Got it, okay.
up to San Fran, possibly up to Sacramento. Sometimes if they get a good deal, they'll go out to Las Jungos, stuff like that. But they're primarily in that strip, north and south of Night City, and moving goods there. They go out to the seaside and, of course, trade with another nation, the seafaring nation, to get goods from, ocean liners that went missing and whatnot, to keep the cities supplied. And so your direct family is probably somewhere in this area. Now, part of your nation does also do transit across the nation, because every city in the country needs supplies from the nomads at this
Right.
point. So this camp is a part of your nation, but not your family.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the folk nation. I just read over it, and that makes
Sure.
the most sense.
So you give them probably the traditional folk nation greeting.
And after all the formalities are over, I tell whoever, like, the what you call it, the
The camp leader,
Which-
either
the-
the patriarch or
yeah,
matriarch,
the camp leader.
the head of the family.
I would be I would ask if I could speak with them.
Yeah, your name all checks out in our nation logs, so yeah, you know how it goes. You want to make sure people are friendly in part if you don't want to risk problems, right?
Exactly.
Come on in.
Right. So, I'm transporting some city gups. We got some stuff to trade if you're open. Just looking for some general supplies. And if you know anything about who's hunting out in the region, we saw about a day or two back there were a couple people out there hunting.
Interesting. Look into it. There's, as you know, there's certain nomad clans don't follow the good. We appreciate the notification. We'll keep on alert and pass the word on.
There he is.
There's been an influx of transit coming down to 15. Do you know what's going on with that?
Do I know what's going on with that?
You know what's going on with that. You picked up some people who are starting to travel down the 15.
Oh, right. That's the people that are being hunted.
That's the life tech, complex burst.
Some life tech shit's going down. That's what I'm getting these guys away from.
That would explain.
Not sure what the whole story
the
is.
AVs
but,
we heard about.
Yeah. Better not pry into people's business you don't need to know.
Oh, absolutely, but it's also good to know so that you don't run into bigger problems. So, good to know to keep your head down. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, how did people not know about it? But it's good to know that that's going on. We did see the AVs pass by day and a half ago, I think it was.
And we're safe from them now.
I don't know. I don't know that they're looking for anyone in particular. They seem to be booking it straight to the northeast from here.
So it's more about the facility then? Okay.
That's where they're headed anyways, based on what you said.
Well, I am bush beat. I'm gonna crash.
Yeah. We got a spare tent for clan members right over there. You guys can go rest up in there. Go ahead and pull your rig in. We'll fuel it up and see what we can do to get you on your way when you need to.
I give him like a friendly gesture, like, clapping his hand or something.
Yep.
And I go, "You're a real chum." And
if you need if you need to trade for medical supplies, foodstuffs, those sort of things, you want to go to the RV with the green. If you want weapons and armor, you want to go to the one with the orange. And so those are our two mobile shops. You know how certain members have got enough prestige, they collect things for the family and they set up kind of shop where the family travels. That would be ours. They're our quartermasters, our suppliers.
And I go and I pull the rig in and I go, okay, so they're willing to do some trade, but you should be very respectful. Don't dig into anything that's not yours, and certainly don't let them see you do it if you do.
I mean, it's not like they have major penalty if you get caught doing that. They just might tie you on the back of the vehicle on the way out.
I think there's something weird happening. I see you, Diamond X. I hear you, but it's like no one else can hear you or see you.
Am I deaf to everyone?
It's
Apparently.
weird.
Okay. I just got a notice on the webpage that it decided to die. I'm going to refresh.
Are we gonna be wrapping up soon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys able to hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
I'm sorry, that was weird. For some reason, Video just decided to do its I'm gonna crap out thing.
I mean, when I couldn't hear you before, I just turned the stream up so I could hear you what you were saying there.
Okay.
So that would work just fine.
Apparently the video camera just quit working too, the webcam. Awesome.
Yeah, I don't see you. I just hear you.
Well, this is kind of where I was going to call it anyways. I wanted to at least get you guys to the camp. Gives you guys a chance to think about and consider what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that way next time we can pick up with any dealings that have happened there, get you guys plans and ready to go, but I want to at least get you to a good point where you guys can consider your stepping stones from here.
You've done well.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep, this is great.
All you viewers, you can't see me, but thank you for being here. I'm sorry we had some technical glitches. Such is the life of streaming. It never goes the way you want. It always kicks you in the butt. But we all roll with it and do the best we can and make things better the next time around. Thank you all for being here. Be sure to follow all these lovely fine folks. And give them all a follow. Let's quickly give them a shout out. Except it's not letting me type very well right now. I will do that next time and have it work better. Thank you all for being here. Join us again next time. We'll be doing this every Saturday for this. Next week will be Chapter 2, Session 2, and we'll keep going. It's roughly 20-ish sessions-ish per chapter, and a few more to go from there. Till next time, as always,
Thank you.
enjoy the story. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.